like new loans or changes in your financial accounts, they'll alert you right away. All through text, phone, email, or the LifeLock.
Live from the News Talk KZRG Storm Center, it's severe weather coverage from the Zimmer Marketing Studios. Sponsored by New Mac Electric.
From the KZRG Storm Center, I'm Steve Scott, along with Ty Albright and also with Ted Bojorquez. We have a new tornado warning that's in effect. This is for northern Cherokee County and also for south central Crawford County in southeast Kansas. It's in effect until 10:15 tonight. At 9, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Go. No, okay. I'll just give you some radar analysis here. I think just northwest of Columbus, just north of Highway 160, headed right for the West Mineral area. I think that is where this area of rotation is. If you're in West Mineral, if you're in Scammon, if you're in Roseland, Weir, Cherokee, McCune, you need to be taking shelter at this time. Again, this is radar indicated. There's a lot of rain in this storm, a lot of hail as well, so you wouldn't be able to see it. Obviously, it's dark, but this area of rotations headed right over West Mineral as we speak in the northwestern part of Cherokee County, and it's moving into the east. So if you're in Scammon, if you're on Highway K7 there, south of 400, north of Columbus, Highway 160, north of 69 there, on that area near Columbus, and then west of 69, if you're south of Pittsburgh, these are the areas where this rotation is headed. It looks like there are some emergency units out there that have seen lowerings and wall clouds and things like that. So that doesn't necessarily mean that there is a tornado on the ground, but there is enough confidence from the National Weather Service that the rotation was there to possibly produce something at any given time. So this is kind of the same area we've been watching that was in northeastern Labette County. The storm's taken more of an easterly track north of Oswego. There was a different area of rotation we were watching near Oswego, but right now there's this area just north of 160 headed for West Mineral and headed for Scammon, headed for the northern edge of Columbus. This tornado warning storm
locations that are impacted according to the tornado warning include Columbus, Cherokee, Weir, Sherman, Scammon, Chicopee, McCune, West Mineral, Roseland, also Lawton, Corona, Skidmore, and Stipville.
So very small areas, but if you are familiar with these places, obviously you call this area home, you need to be taking shelter at this time. So it's right around West Mineral, right around Scammon, southwest of Cherokee. That's the area of rotation. That's the path of the area of rotation that we're watching here at this time. And again, it's pretty broad right now. This storm has kind of had several little showers that have merged into it. So it's kind of a complex merged storm cluster. The tornado potential is still there. We're watching to see if it can interact with the environment that's in front of it and continue to maintain its rotating potential. Right now, we do have a couple of storm chasers there in the Oswego area who aren't seeing anything on the ground right now, but again, they're seeing some lowerings and some funnel clouds. So you just want to take this be extra cautious here in Scammon, West Mineral, just to the north of 160, there near Columbus, and then south of Highway 400 in the Cherokee and Scammon areas, and Weir as well need to be taking shelter at this time. So when we say take shelter, of course, storm shelter is the best thing you got. Basements, if you don't have either one of those, put yourself in an interior closet, put as many substantial walls between you and the outside as possible. Get away from windows. Make sure you got some sort of blanket or something to protect your head, just in case there were to be some sort of damaging wind gust or tornado that did damage to your home there. Again, West Mineral, Scammon, Weir, Cherokee, northwestern edge of Columbus between Highway 400 and Highway 160 there in northwestern Cherokee County and northern Cherokee County need to be taking shelter at this time.
And also in Crawford County, Chicopee is located just barely to the west of Pittsburgh, so keep that in mind if you're headed in that direction or live in that direction. Now, this storm has a history of producing some tornadoes touching down. There were several that reportedly touched down that were confirmed by the public in Labette County, and also there was a large tornado that touched down in Montgomery County for a while near Cherryvale and just to the north and east of Independence, Kansas. So this storm has had a history of reportedly touching down tornadoes.
It does, and that's why we want to take it seriously as it approaches the, Kansas-Missouri border. We've been watching it track for the last several hours, and it's been slowly coming towards the KZRG listening area, and we're watching it have a lot of lightning in this storm as well, so that means the storm is still pretty intense. And we are going to continue to watch that area of rotation just to the west-northwest of Columbus, right around West Mineral, right around Scammon, Highway 160, kind of in that mined area there, that mined lands wildlife area north of Hallowell, north of Sherwin, excuse me, headed for K7, Stipville, Skidmore, Mackey, Roseland, some small communities there around Scammon. This latest radar scans actually got this rotation just to the west, northwest of Columbus. So Highway 160, got to be taking shelter. If I'm in Columbus as well, you're not under this tornado warning, at least in the box. You're under a severe thunderstorm warning, but I'd be kind of getting
Well,
in
we
my shelter if I'm in Columbus.
had a new tornado warning issued.
Yep. And it's observed as well. So it looks like this storm is observed. The National Weather Service confirmed tornado located near the Oswego area, moving east at 25. So if you're in Columbus, you are now in a tornado warning. So everything I just said, you need to go ahead and be extra serious about it, because this is now an observed, confirmed tornado warning. So Highway 160, Hallowell, Hogue, Sherwin, Columbus, that's the area as well. We're watching West Mineral, Scammon, Weir. If you are in this general area, you need to be taking shelter at this time. This tornado warning does include the northwestern half of Baxter Springs and Riverton as well, but does not include Galena. So we'll continue to watch it track there closer to Highway 69. But for now, if you're in Columbus, got to be taking shelter right now. Get somewhere safe.
It probably is also including the town of Lowell, just between Baxter Springs and
Lowell,
also.
yeah, don't forget Lowell. Yeah,
don't forget. My mother and father used to live there for a long time. Again, we have a tornado warning. We've got two different ones for Cherokee County. One is for the northern half, and now one for the southern half. The one for the southern half that was issued just moments ago is moving to the east. A confirmed tornado was located near Oswego. It is moving to the east at 25 miles per hour. Damaging tornado and golf ball size hail. Weather spotters have confirmed this tornado.
And I am watching one of the confirmed weather spotters there. It looks like I wouldn't say it's damaged, but there are branches or leaves. There are things in the road. He's been going through Oswego there on Highway 160. So this storm, it looks like, is packing a lot of winds. There could be some wind damage in the Oswego area. A lot of lightning with this storm, as I mentioned. So that means it is intensifying. It is continuing to pack a punch. But we need to be taking our shelter precautions. Our tornado safety plan needs to be in place in the city of Columbus, Kansas, in the cities of West Mineral and Scammon and Weir, and areas around south of Highway 400, right around Highway 160, and where 69 meet up there. West of the Kansas-Missouri border. These are the places where this tornado is going to be tracking. So please, again, Columbus, Kansas needs to be taking shelter at this time.
Now, another update. We just got word that they have extended the tornado watch for Neosho and Labette counties in southeast Kansas now until 4 in the morning.
Lovely.
So we're going to have the possibility of severe storms and tornadoes possible until overnight hours of 4 in the morning. For the southwest Missouri area, it's until 2 in the morning. For Cherokee, Crawford, and Bourbon, as of this time, it's until 11 o'clock. Northeast Oklahoma is until midnight at this time for tornado watches. But right now, we're going wall-to-wall on the stations of Zimmer Marketing because of a total of 3 different tornado warnings. One is for the western half of Cherokee County. One is for the northern half of Cherokee County, and also includes the south central part of Crawford County. And then it also a third one, which includes down to near Baxter Springs, Riverton, and it includes Columbus, and that is the tornado watch that has a confirmed, or tornado warning that has a confirmed touchdown near Oswego.
And again, we're continuing to monitor it radar scan by radar scan, but the latest radar scan that's coming through out of Tulsa looks like still the highest area where rotation's probably at, just west of Columbus, Highway 160, south of West Mineral, southwest of Scammon. Again, there's a couple areas that we're watching here. This area of Cherokee County is in this what we call radar hole, where it's kind of far away from any it's far away from the Tulsa, Wichita, Kansas City, and Springfield radars, so it's hard to get an exact track on some of these storms. So we kind of use a general area here, and it looks like it's still northwest of Columbus is where the general area of rotation would be. So Highway 160 west of Columbus, and then the Sherwin area, West Mineral, Scammon, and of course Columbus area. Got to be taking shelter right now. Please, if you're in the city of Columbus, make sure you are in your safe place.
The tornado warnings, again, are in effect for Cherokee County, Kansas, all the way until at least 10, depending upon which tornado warning you're looking at. The one for the southern part of Cherokee County is in effect until 10:30 this evening. The one in the northern part of Cherokee County is also in effect until, I believe, 10:15, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
And
And one of these
till 10
expires in
o'clock.
3 minutes. One of these expires in 3 minutes, at the very western edge, but I think it's an out-of-date warning. They just forgot to let it expire. So it does look messy on the radar box. If you're taking a look at that on the KZRG Facebook or the KZRG YouTube where we're streaming, you can see the exact radar we're looking at. It looks like a mess, like I said, but the area of rotation right near the city of Columbus, maybe between Oswego and Columbus, Highway 160, that mines, land, wildlife area, that's pretty much the area of concern. Hallowell, Sherwin, West Mineral, Roseland, Scammon, Columbus. These are the places that have got to be in their shelters as we speak.
Again, the rotation is located to the north and west of Columbus at this time. It was reported to be on the ground near the Oswego area just minutes ago by a confirmed weather spotter. We're keeping an eye on it. We're going to keep you informed.
And I've got that storm spotter pulled up. CJ Ziegler is his name. He is currently in the city of Oswego. He's driving through a downpour. It looks like there's a lot of limbs down in the city of Oswego, at least where he is driving through. I don't see any big trees down from his stream. But again, it's nighttime. It's pouring down rain. You can only see things when the lightning lights it up. But right now, he is driving through Oswego as we speak. So he would be on that storm. And I'm not exactly sure if this tornado is still on the ground, but we're going to treat it like it is. So city of Columbus still needs to be in their safe place. Sherwin, Hallowell, Scammon, West Mineral, that general area there of northwestern Cherokee County. Again, this tornado warning does include the city of Baxter Springs. You're on the very southeastern edge of it. It also includes a slim half of Riverton and Lowell as well. It does not include Galena, so that just kind of gives you the idea of where the cutoff is. But if we're in southwest Missouri, if we're in Joplin, we're watching the storm, of course, because it is tracking east-southeast. So we've got to be paying attention in Carl Junction, the west side of Joplin. We've got to be paying attention in Galena, Loma Linda, Shoal Creek, Webb City, Oronogo, Joplin Airport. Everybody in that area, we got to be paying attention. Western Cherokee or Western Jasper County and extreme northwestern Newton County as well. So just keep it tuned to News Talk KZRG and the stations at Zimmer Marketing. We'll continue to follow this tornado warning throughout the next 30 minutes to an hour with how slow this storm is moving.
In addition to the tornado possibility, or in some cases a confirmed tornado on the ground, we're getting a lot of reports of some hail according to the radar, including around West Mineral over to around Scammon, down to just to the northwest of Columbus. Also, just to the west of Columbus, there on 160, there's quite a bit of hail between Columbus and also Sherwin and Oswego. Now, we just got an update. The hail core has moved to within approximately 5 miles to the west of Columbus at this time for one of the hail cores.
And the good news here is I'm perusing the National Weather Service chats here, and they're not talking much about this storm, so that's generally a good sign. But I'm still seeing this latest radar scan, broad rotation just to the west-northwest of Columbus, right there on Highway 160 near Hallowell and Sherwin. It looks like there's been several storm mergers. Several little showers have joined up with the storm. It might be trying to spin something up near Chautauqua as well. If you kind of, Steve, if you want to look at the Chautauqua area on your radar, it looks like there might be a little hook on that end of it. That's not in the tornado-warned storm, but this storm has undergone several little mergers as well. So we want to keep an eye on the tail end of it. But right now, again, the main area of rotation just to the west-northwest of Columbus near West Mineral, Scammon, this Highway 160, looks like County Road 102, let's see, K7, Skidmore, Mackey, Roseland, Stipville, some small communities there in that area. We just want to give you the latest update, especially if you are in these small communities that you may not normally see on a map, but I understand people do live there. So Columbus area still got to be in their shelters at this time.
Yeah, I am seeing that a little bit of a hook there near the Chautauqua area. That is, the storm in a whole is kind of moving to the east. Sometimes to the southeast, sometimes to the northeast. It's just kind of all over the map moving, but it's moving very, very slowly. And again, we've had a confirmed tornado touchdown near Oswego, confirmed by weather spotters. This particular storm has had a history of dropping tornadoes, including a large tornado earlier in Montgomery County, northeast of Independence, Kansas, near Sycamore earlier on. Now, also, the tornado warning for the western half of Cherokee has been allowed to expire.
It has.
So it's been replaced because
tornado warnings here.
The other warnings replace it.
Yeah, the radar's looking pretty messy here. We're getting a new velocity scan from the Tulsa radar. I'll give you a better update here, but it's still trying to rotate right there west of Columbus. The inflow of the storm's trying to wrap in right there. It's a very heavy precip supercell. So obviously it's dark out, but you would not see this tornado if it were on the ground. But if I'm in Columbus, Kansas, please be in your shelter. Continue to stay in that safe place that you've got. That's a basement, a storm shelter, a dedicated storm shelter, or some interior closet without windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside world as possible, because if this were to produce some sort of tornado, you would need to be in somewhere that has substantial shelter around you, because it could cause damage to your home or the structure that you're in.
Ty, I'm seeing that rotation you're talking about there just to the west of Columbus. It appears that it's kind of moving very, very slowly at this time towards the east.
It is, and I have an update from the Baxter Springs Fire Department. They said their spotters had a definite lowering coming out of Chautauqua. They are calling all spotters back in at this time. National Weather Services, that they have been receiving a few reports of very strong winds 9 miles west of Columbus. Trees have been blowing down. Reports are unsure if tornado is ongoing, but the velocity signatures are conducive of very strong straight line winds with a history of producing tornadoes. So the circulation is near Sherwin, west southwest of Columbus at this time. So Columbus, please be taking shelter. This is a very dangerous storm headed towards the city of Columbus and the surrounding area there, Highway 160, Highway 69, where they meet up there in the city of Columbus.
The tornado warning for the southern half of Cherokee County and central Cherokee County in southeast Kansas is in effect until 10:30 p.m. The one on the northern half is in effect until 10, I believe, if I remember correctly. And again, it's all moving very slowly to the east and in some parts of it southeast.
And that's what's been frustrating about this storm, but also has helped us in the Joplin Metro be aware of what's coming. We've got plenty of time to prepare. We've been watching this storm for several hours. You guys have been on top of it as well, and we are continuing to see it slowly creep in towards Joplin. Again, it could still be 30 minutes to an hour before it even crosses the Kansas-Missouri border, but we're going to continue to watch it, see if it can continue to hold its area of rotation, which is just to the west of Columbus. Columbus getting pounded by hail right now as we speak, so you got to be somewhere safe if you are in the city of Columbus and the surrounding area there near neutral, near Highway 160, Highway 69. That area of central Cherokee County still needs to be in their shelters as we approach 10:50 on the stations of Zimmer Marketing. You're listening to live severe weather coverage. Ty Albright, Steve Scott, Ted Boherquez, the whole gang covering these storms for you here on this Sunday night.
Yeah, it's a 9:50 our time is where it's at. We've got a lot of hail right now along Highway 7 between Columbus and Scammon that is coming down according to the radar. That is where the heaviest hail is. There's also an area of some heavy hail that is just to the west of Columbus. Actually, it should be entering the western part of Columbus right now as we speak. So keep that in mind and be very careful, especially if you have to be driving or outside at this time. Actually, if you're driving at this time, you need to keep an eye out for the tornado that was reported on the ground there by Oswego.
That's right. And you know what? Time is just a made-up construct, right? So, I didn't even know what day it was. I had to look and see what the calendar said. But we're getting a new report. They're upgrading the tornado warning in Cherokee County to considerable based on strong rotation to the environment conducive for strong tornadoes. So that's very, very bad news for people in Cherokee County. Please continue to take shelter if you are in Cherokee County, Kansas. They're upgrading the warning. They've got trees down on houses northwest 82nd and Bethlehem. Also have multiple trees down in Hallowell, Kansas. That is directly from a Baxter Springs firefighter. So again, they're upgrading the tornado warning in Cherokee County to considerable based on the strong rotation and the environment ahead of the storm that is conducive for strong tornadoes. So we have got to keep an eye on it. And Steve, I want you to take a look at the velocities there just northeast of Chautauqua again. I know we're in a really bad radar spot, but it kind of looks like it's trying to rotate there as well. Of course, rotation headed right for Columbus as we speak, but then we're also watching some rotation northeast of Chautauqua headed for Highway 166 west of Baxter.
Yeah, the rotation seems to be holding fairly steady there around Chautauqua at the moment. It's not moving very much in any direction. It's just pretty much staying still.
And we've also got a flash flooding threat. We've got multiple streets flooded in Parsons, Kansas, where the storm moved through. So if you're on the northern edge of it, you're in Columbus, you're in Scammon, Weird, Cherokee, south of Pittsburgh, the flash flooding is also a threat. So please remember, turn around, don't drown. We don't want to forget about that aspect. But of course, we've got the dangerous tornado warned storm. It's a PDS situation here in Cherokee County, an observed tornado headed right for Columbus, at least the last reports that we had. at least if not that, damaging straight line winds are headed for the city of Columbus as we speak. But this is a particularly dangerous situation. Tornado warning. This is life-threatening. Flying debris, of course, could be deadly if you're not in some sort of substantial shelter. So you need to be in your shelters, your basements, your interior closets, somewhere that is safe and can keep you safe from any type of flying debris. Getting a latest radar scan here, Columbus getting pounded with hail as we speak. Up to lime size has been reported with this storm. So 2-inch hail with the tornado threat in the city of Columbus, Kansas. You got to be taking shelter right now if you haven't already. I've been saying it for several minutes now, but you still have got to be in your safe place. The latest velocity scan, it really didn't move. So this area of rotation still just kind of sitting there near Sherwin and just west-northwest of Columbus, maybe southwest of Columbus. But Columbus, you are right in the path of the storm, so please take these warnings very seriously.
From the National Weather Service in Springfield, Missouri, a tornado warning remains in effect until 10:30 p.m. for central Cherokee County. At 9:51 Central Daylight Time, a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located near Columbus, moving east at 20 miles per hour. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Take cover now. The hazards include a damaging tornado, radar confirmed tornado as well. So keep that in mind. At this time, this tornado warning is in effect until 10:30. Again, a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was on the ground near Columbus, moving to the east at 20 miles per hour.
And it might be taking a little bit of a southeasterly track as well. I know that's the official text, but I'm watching this at Galena, Riverton, Baxter. We got to keep an eye on it. The west side of Joplin, got to be keeping an eye on this storm as well. But Columbus, Kansas, please take shelter if you haven't already. You've got to be in your safe place. We're not trying to scare anybody, but this is a dangerous storm, and you are in a life-threatening situation if you're in the city of Columbus, especially if you do not have any type of substantial shelter. And again, flash flood warning in Cherokee County as well. So please do not go above ground if you're in Columbus, Kansas, if you are sheltering in place at least. I understand if you don't have a storm shelter that gets you underground, you don't have anywhere else to go, but just make sure you've got enough substantial walls between you and the outside world as possible. The greatest threat, of course, is that tornado, but of course, a flash flooding is also deadly as well. So turn around, don't drown. Getting a new radar scan here just momentarily. The city of Columbus, Kansas, under a particularly dangerous situation. Tornado warning at this time. The latest velocity scan still showing that area of rotation right over the city of Columbus, Kansas. Highway 160, Highway 69 there in Columbus. So please remain in your shelter. Baxter, Riverton, even Galena. Galena, you're not in this tornado warning, but you need to start taking shelter. No going out and looking at the storm. It's very rain-wrapped. If it were to be on the ground, there's a lot of hail coming down. And of course, it's almost 10 o'clock at night, so you're not going to see the storm. Please just take shelter, be extra safe tonight as we continue to watch this storm move into an environment that is conducive for strong tornadoes.
Yeah, according to the wind velocity radar right now, it looks like it's right over Columbus, extending down 69 highway from Highway 160 at this time to approximately 3 miles to the south of the city limits of Columbus.
Yeah, really quick here.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say we also have some confirmed outages in Columbus and Buffalo as well to keep in mind. Sirens now sounding in Baxter Springs. So as Ty and Steve have been saying, this is clearly a wide-spanning issue.
This is, and we got some concern of Ottawa County. We're seeing in Quapaw areas. The National Weather Service in Tulsa says the velocity data is pretty noisy. So again, it's in a spot where there's not a clear picture of it. But there is still circulation right over the city of Columbus where the tornado was reported. The core of the storm tracking south of east, but right now the circulations are going more east. So we've really got to keep an eye on it if we're in Carl Junction, Webb City, Joplin, Galena, and of course the surrounding metro areas.
And
we're
also in Crestline.
Watching it.
Also
yes,
in the
Crestline as well. I keep forgetting to mention Crestline, but Highway 69 corridor in southeast Kansas. This area rotation is looking pretty impressive right over Columbus. So please take shelter in Baxter. They've got the siren sounding there. If you're in Riverton and Lowell, go ahead and take shelter. Crestline, take shelter. Neutral as well. You are right in the path of the storm. And Dad and Galena, go ahead and take shelter as well. I know you're probably sitting there at the pool watching the storm roll in, but just go ahead and take shelter if you would, please.
This storm has a history of dropping tornadoes. The first report of a tornado we heard was a large confirmed tornado just north of Independence, Kansas at Sycamore. It was headed to the east, but it was all very, very slow in its turns. Then they had multiple reports of touchdowns in Labette County, from the Tri-City Airport over to Parsons down to Mountain City, that they had confirmed reports of tornadoes touching down there. Now, again, the rotation is right around the Columbus, Kansas area right now. It looks like it's the eastern part has gotten a little bit weaker, but the western part is still there, the rotation. At least that's what I'm
Yeah,
seeing.
so and as they mentioned, that damaging wind, straight line wind threat can be just as dangerous as that as well. So the picture from the Tulsa radar looks a lot different than the picture from the Springfield radar, but the general area rotation right over the city of Columbus at this time. So that's really the main concern with this storm as it continues to push east southeast right now towards the central and eastern half of Cherokee County, that Highway 69 corridor between Baxter and, let's say, Crestline, even a little bit further north towards the south end of Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, you're on the northern edge of it. No need to worry there. So we just want to make sure people on Highway 69 and in the Columbus area are aware that this tornadic storm is headed your way and has been headed your way in Columbus. You still got to be in your safe place.
Now, what I'm seeing, the eastern line is apparently between Columbus and Crestline right now is where the rotation is. That would be near the golf course, the country club there at Columbus, Kansas. It is headed right down 69 highway between Crestline and also Columbus. And then it's also got rotation between Columbus and going south about 5 miles south of Columbus on Highway 69 after it takes a turn going towards Oklahoma.
Yep, and that's the thing. We got some Oklahomies asking in Ottawa County. This storm may end up clipping a small part of Ottawa County if you're in the Quapaw area. Need to kind of be weather aware. Of course, it still would have to go through parts of southeast Kansas before it gets there. But the tornado threat appears to be staying to the north of Quapaw and Oklahoma. So if you're Oklahoma listening, wondering, it looks like the tornado threat may just clip the very extreme northeastern edge of Ottawa County. We're talking close to the downstream area. So any people in Oklahoma and Ottawa County wondering, that is the situation for you. But of course, Columbus, Kansas, you are still under this tornadic storm as we speak. Highway 69, Baxter, Riverton, Galena need to be taking shelter at this time as well. Crestline as well. Please be somewhere that is tornado safe.
We have a couple of tornado warnings that are currently in effect. The one that affects the central part of Crawford County, as well as the northern half of Cherokee County. That one is in effect until 10:15. The one that we're having the most action to talk about is the one that is on the south 2/3 of Cherokee County. That includes Scammon and Columbus and Baxter Springs and Riverton. That one is in effect until at least 10:30. But again, this storm is just moving so slowly.
Yeah. It's very, I wouldn't say it's deviant motion, but they did warn that some of these supercells could have deviant motion, which means it's very hard to predict where the area of rotation will be going. But right now, we're still seeing it right over Columbus. So I do expect some sort of new warning coming out, at least maybe for the very eastern edge of Cherokee County, maybe even parts of Jasper County soon. So if I'm in Joplin, if I'm on the west side of Joplin, the Carl Junction, Airport Drive areas, Loma Linda, that western edge of Jasper and Newton counties, I'd be kind of getting my stuff together just in case this storm would continue to pack its punch into the Joplin metro. But please, Columbus, Kansas, still stay safe. We are seeing this area of rotation still right over you. We've had reports of Oswego, several tree limbs, power poles, and power lines down in that area. So that is where the storm was as it moves through Columbus right now. Still seeing a bit of rotation right over Columbus and headed east-southeast. So Carl Junction, west side of Joplin, Galena, Crestline, you need to be starting to take shelter at this time.
And of course, as you've mentioned several times, we're in an area that's hard for the radar to pick up the rotation, but it's still coming through fairly clearly at this time. It's now extending about between 5 and 6 miles to the east-southeast of Columbus. If you're on Clem Road, you're right in the middle of the storm at this time, so keep your eyes on the sky and keep a lookout to see if you are having any interaction with the possible tornado.
And speaking of eye in the sky, we do have the KZRG tower cam eye in the sky facing that storm from our studios there at 32nd and just west of 32nd range line, as we now are 10:02 here in the stations of Zimmer Marketing. But we do have that available. Just search KZRG eye in the sky, Google search that. Oh, there's that new tornado warning for Joplin. So Particularly dangerous situation tornado warning just issued for the city of Joplin, as well as eastern Cherokee County, northwestern Newton, and western Jasper. So again, particularly dangerous situation tornado warning has just been issued for the western half of Jasper County and extreme northwestern edges of Newton County, and then eastern Cherokee County. Galena, Baxter, Riverton, Crestline, Carl Junction, Webb City, Oronogo, Joplin, Loma Linda, these surrounding areas, you got to be taking shelter as we speak right now. Please take this storm seriously. It does have a history of producing a tornadic storm. You need to get in your basement or your storm shelter or an interior closet, no windows around. You've got to be somewhere that has some sturdy walls, and you got to be putting like blankets and things over your head just to protect yourself in case there were to be a storm that damages your home. But again, particularly dangerous situation, tornado warning just issued for eastern Cherokee County, northwestern Newton, and western Jasper County, which includes Joplin, includes Carthage, Webb City, Carl, Baxter, Galena, Oronogo, Carterville, Duquesne, Dunaweg, Jasper, Diamond, Airport Drive, and other surrounding areas. Of course, I-44 from the downstream area to mile marker 18. So please take this storm seriously.
The tornado warning is for eastern Cherokee County and southern and southeastern Kansas, also for northwestern Neosho County and southwestern Missouri, or Newton County, that is, northwestern Newton County and southwest Missouri, western Jasper County and southwest Missouri until 10:45 p.m. At 10:01, a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located near Columbus, Kansas, moving to the east at 40 miles per hour. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Take cover now. We are reporting the hazardous of damaging winds, and also the weather spotters have confirmed a tornado. Take cover now if you're in the Carl Junction area, Airport Drive area, Webb City area, and Joplin area.
Yep, and KZRG eye in the sky again, pointing to the west, northwest. You should be able to see, hopefully, this storm. If you take a look at the KZRG eye in the sky, we've got that camera from our tower cam pointing right at the storm. It's a lot of lightning right now. We're looking for anything that could possibly be on the ground. Just 3 minutes ago, the National Weather Service in Springfield said we can say there is a high likelihood in a tornado currently on the ground, but they do not know the exact size. They say taking shelter strongly encouraged, no matter what the size of that storm would be. But again, particularly dangerous situation, tornado warning in effect for eastern Cherokee and western Jasper County and extreme northwestern Newton County. Galena, Riverton, Lowell, Baxter, Columbus, Carl Junction, Webb City, Oronogo, Joplin, Carthage, Asbury, Waco, got to be taking shelter at this time. We're still seeing this area of rotation right around, it looks like the Crestline area, moving east-southeast. So Galena, please get in your shelter. Riverton, please get in your shelter. Crestline, you got to be there as well. Smithfield, Carl Junction, Belleville, Bell Center, Central City, Airport Drive, of course, the city of Joplin, Webb City, and Oronogo. Please take shelter at this time. Even if there wasn't something on the ground, there's a high likelihood that there is. It's very rain-wrapped at this time, a lot of lightning, a lot of hail. You're not going to see it. You've got to take shelter. Please get somewhere safe.
Affected roadways include what is now 69 alternate and 69 around Crestline, the highway that goes between Crestline and the Missouri state line, which turns into YY Highway that goes around the Carl Junction area, and then later will turn into where it will be 96 Highway. Again, a tornado warning. It has been confirmed. A particularly dangerous situation. Take cover now. The rotation that I'm seeing is right around the Crestline area. But as you've been mentioning, in fact, the tornado sirens are now sounding here in Joplin.
Yeah, we have confirmation Carl Junction's tornado sirens and Joplin, Missouri's tornado sirens are in fact sounding.
So you got to take it seriously. I'm watching the radar, the latest velocity scan here, and as Steve mentioned, Crestline area. That looks like where this hook would be. If it's going east, it's going right for Carl Junction, right for Belleville, right for Smithfield. That area, if it's kind of going southeasterly, that's where we need to watch if we are in Joplin. Again, it could have deviant motion, so we can't really predict where this rotation is going to go. But if you are in this box, if you hear the sirens, you just got the alert on your phone, you're listening to us, you need to take shelter. Galena, Riverton, Joplin, Carl Junction, Webb City, Airport Drive, Crestline, Asbury, Waco, you got to be in your tornado safe place. So the latest rotation looks to be north of Galena, east southeast of Crestline, and again moving east, so you've got to be taking shelter in the Carl Junction Airport Drive areas at this time. Northwest side of Joplin, also put yourself somewhere that's got some substantial walls between you and the outside world. Particularly dangerous situation, tornado warning here in the area.
This is the second time this storm has gotten a particularly dangerous situation. It happened earlier when the storm was located northeast of Independence, Kansas. That was about 60 miles to the west, and it took almost 2 hours for it to arrive in our area.
Yeah, and it's given us plenty of time to watch this. It looks like the rotation's upticked just north of Empire, north of Galena, near Badger, Klondike, Belleville, Bell Center. Those are the areas right there, south of Carl Junction, southwest of Carl Junction. If I'm in Carl, though, I'm taking shelter. Northwest side of Joplin takes shelter. You know what? All of Joplin takes shelter, but the area of rotation looks to have upticked north of Galena, north of Empire, moving east. So Klondike, Belleville, Bell Center, Carl Junction, that area of Briarbrook, you got to be taking shelter at this time. Airport Drive, get in your shelter. Webb City, get in your damn shelter. Joplin, go ahead and get in your shelter. Dunaway, Prosperity, even Carthage are on the eastern half of this tornado warning. But if this storm continues to rotate and move east, it will be crossing the Missouri-Kansas border here momentarily. But north of Galena, southeast of Crestline, headed right for Belleville, headed right for Carl Junction-ish and Briarbrook area. Those are where the area of rotation looks to be the strongest.
The strongest rotation I'm seeing at the moment on the velocity scan is located now affecting 69 alternate just south of Crestline, but there's still some in the Crestline area. It's just that the greatest rotation is just to the south of Crestline that I'm seeing on my radar.
Yeah, and that's what I'm seeing as well. Again, it's hard to get a clear picture because we're in between these little radar holes, but there's so much lightning in the storm. It's a very intense storm right now. Again, particularly dangerous situation, tornado warning in effect for areas like Carl Junction, Joplin, Galena, Empire there, northwest side of Joplin especially, Belleville, Bell Center, Central City, JJ Highway there, Briarbrook area, Stringtown, Smithfield, Klondike. You've got to be taking shelter right now. Airport Drive, you're near the Joplin Airport. Get in your shelter. Near Lone Elm there, northwest side of Joplin. Please take shelter at this time. We are watching the storm continue to wrap up and rotate north of Galena, heading for the Carl Junction area and the Briarbrook area. So please take this storm seriously. It's a particularly dangerous situation. Tornado warning.
Could also affect Highway 171 between Webb City and Airport Drive up to around Asbury, Missouri. Also, Fur Road and Fountain Road. If you're on those areas, you need to take cover immediately because the rotation is beginning to head that direction at this time.
And I've got one of the KDOT cams at 400 and 166. You can see something on this in the background. It's a very grainy picture because, of course, these cameras are pretty crap, but you can see something on the ground. It looks like some sort of funnel that you can see with this storm. So please take it seriously. There could be something on the ground right now. We are watching it. North of Galena, headed for the southern edge of Carl Junction. We do have a couple of storm spotters in that area, but it's hard to get a good look at this because of how dark it is and how rain-wrapped this tornado would be. But you can see something on this camera, Highway 400 and 166. Looks like a funnel cloud on the ground. Please, north of Galena, take shelter. Empire, take shelter as it's heading across from the Kansas-Missouri border. Carl Junction, take shelter in that area southwest of CJ, Briarbrook. That's the area where this storm is headed. So if you are in that general vicinity, you've got to be getting in that damn shelter.
Ty, the tornado sirens are sounding once again here in the city of Joplin. So if you're in the city of Joplin, take cover now. You're listening to continuous severe weather coverage on the stations of Zimmer Marketing and News Talk KZRG.
Particularly dangerous situation, tornado warning we're following for you. Again, we've got a Kansas KDOT camera at US 400 and 166 looking to the north. So that's near Baxter, looking to the north. It's a pretty crappy quality here, but I can see something in this. Looks like it's on the ground. I can't tell exactly what it is, but it could be a big tornado headed right for Carl Junction, headed for this Briarbrook area, headed for Webb City, north of Galena, probably crossing that area where the Kansas and Missouri borders are as it heads towards JJ Highway, just northeast of Galena, south of Carl Junction. Again, please, I can't stress it enough. It's wrapping up, and it could be east-southeasterly. So Joplin, you got to be in your shelter.
If you're in the area of Stringtown,
airport shelter, Webb City shelter.
If you're in the area of Stringtown on JJ Highway, also Carl Junction and Smithtown, you need to take cover immediately. Also in Carl Junction. Also, if you're headed towards the Bell Center area, or Bell Center area. Keep your eyes to the sky because it could be hitting in that area. Also around P Highway, just south of Stringtown, about 3 miles, and Carl Junction, about 3.5, 4 miles.
So yeah, again, northwest side of Joplin, north of Galena, northeast of Galena there, Klondike, Belleville, Bell Center, Stringtown, Smithfield, Carl Junction, Badger, Klondike, again, all these places. JJ Highway, near Briarbrook, in that area, you are in the path of the storm. Please get in that shelter, get in that safe place. We can put you somewhere between, or put at least substantial walls between you and the outside world, just as much as you can.
Tornado warning is in effect for Jasper County and also northern Newton County. It's in effect until 10:45. Again, we've had a confirmed tornado on the ground, a particularly dangerous situation. Keep that in mind. Take cover immediately if you're in the listening area.
And I don't know if you guys have a better view of the KZRG eye in the sky than I do, but from my screen, I just see a bunch of lightning. I know we've got it pointed that way, but there is definitely some sort of something. At least there was some sort of rotating wall cloud. It definitely was, it reported. So this is something that we have seen doing damage on the ground. Carl Junction, you got to be in your shelter. South of Carl Junction, between the northwest side of Joplin and Carl Junction, is looking like the main area of where this tornado could be headed or is right now. So please be in your shelters. I'm stressing it all over the place because we got people joining in moment by moment, maybe tuning in. Again, particularly dangerous situation, tornado warning, Joplin, Webb City, Carl Junction, northeast of Galena, Bell Center, Central City, Belleville, Highway, JJ Highway, Stringtown, Smithfield, Lone Elm, Airport Drive. These are the main areas of concern at this moment. But if you are in this warning box, if you got a warning on your phone, if you hear the sirens, you got to be in your shelter right now.
Looks like the storm is beginning to affect 171 between Airport Drive and Carl Junction at this time. So be very careful if you're out in that area at this time.
Also, we have a quick announcement from the city of Sarcoxie, Missouri. Sarcoxie safe rooms are open if that's something you need to utilize. Whether you live in Sarcoxie or in a community near it, those safe rooms are now open.
Storm is also apparently approaching the Webb City area. It's not there as of yet, but the storm is headed that same direction if it stays headed in the same path that it's going. Airport Drive, you're going to be seeing it first, and then it could be hitting the Webb City area and Carterville area, and that'll affect 171 between Airport Drive and Webb City. Now, again, area that's getting some heavy winds right now includes Airport Drive up to around just to the roundabout just northeast of the Carl Junction area.
Now, something I noticed about the latest radar scan, that rotation we were talking about, it's kind of, I wouldn't say it's dying out. It's still there. There's some straight line wind damage on the west side of Joplin, JJ Highway, Carl Junction, but we're looking at some new rotation here back towards Columbus, back towards the Crestline area that we need to be watching. This is rain wrapped, completely rain wrapped. So you wouldn't see this. Of course, it's dark out anyway. You can only see it through lightning, but this is completely rain wrapped rotation. Over the last two radar scans, it's starting to pick up on the backside of this storm. But again, if I'm in Carl Junction, Galena, Crestline, Highway 69, north of Baxter, north of Riverton, in these areas, you've got to be taking shelter. Northwest side of Joplin still. I know everybody's got storm anxiety here in the area, so you're in this tornado warning box. Please make sure you are somewhere safe, because this is a very powerful, dangerous storm. It is very hard to identify where the exact rotation is, but we for sure have seen on a traffic camera north of Baxter that this was producing a tornado at some point, so we've got to be in your safe place.
Ty, for at least the third time, they've started sounding the tornado sirens in the city limits of Joplin, so keep that in mind. Take cover now immediately. This is a particularly dangerous situation. The tornado warning is in effect until 10:45 at this time. The storm is very slow moving, so it's just pretty much moving very like at a snail's pace.
Frustratingly slow, but the thing is, again, we've been watching it for hours now, so we've had plenty of time. We've posted about it several times on Facebook. We've been live here for a while. We've been on and off on the radio about making sure you are weather aware tonight, because all we needed was this one supercell to track in. This environment where it's at right now is very conducive for continuing to support rotation. As we've seen, this latest radar scan looks like there could be something right. This area rotation is kind of further back towards Crestline again. And it looks like it's pretty intense. East of Columbus, near Crestline, Highway 69, once again, this new area of rotation is wrapping up, intensely wrapping up Highway 69 north of Riverton, north of Galena, kind of a new area. Still gusty winds headed right into Carl Junction as we speak. Gusty winds in Joplin
Yeah, I'm seeing that as well.
especially the northwest side of town. But Steve, are you kind of seeing that little area of
I'm
rotation?
seeing that area as well. It's headed more towards the JJ Highway area around Fountain Road and Fur Road area, right in that general area. At least that's the way it's tracking at the moment, according to my radar.
Yep, and it's again, it's hard to read these radars with how far away kind of this area is between them, but they're both showing this area of rotation now ticking up again at near Crestline, moving east southeast. So we still got to be in our shelters in Galena, Joplin, Riverton, Carl Junction, Oronogo, Webb City, Airport Drive. Even Carthage, eastern edge of Carthage, or eastern edge of the warning is Carthage, but just got to be safe. We want to be extra safe tonight. Again, a very powerful storm is moving through the area that's got a history of producing tornadoes. It's a particularly dangerous situation, not only tornadoes, but lime-size hail and very heavy winds. Flash flooding is also a threat here, so please, if for whatever reason you are going to be in a car tonight or in a car right now, and not a great place to be, but turn around, don't drown. Again, particularly dangerous situation. Tornado warning continues for the Joplin Metro.
And one of the things, I had not heard this before, they were calling it lime-size hail, which I understand is 2-inch in diameter hail. And for the third time, the tornado sirens have stopped sounding here in the city of Joplin, but it does not mean that the threat has gone away. It's still in the area. Take cover now. A tornado warning in effect for Jasper, northern parts of Newton County, all the way until 10:45 tonight. Again, a confirmed tornado on the ground. We're keeping an eye on it. We're keeping you informed right here on the stations of Zimmer Marketing. News Talk KZRG.
A lot of, again, I'm just watching the radar from both sides of both radars, and there's a lot of rain wrapping into the storm. So again, you're not going to see it. Dark out, lightning would be the only way you see it anyway. But Carl Junction, Crestline, north of Riverton, north of Galena, south of Asbury, south of Waco, northwest side of Joplin. These are the main areas of concern right now. You got to be in your shelter. You got to be somewhere safe, because as we saw the other night, we had that little EF1 tornado on the northwest side of Joplin, did some damage. Fortunately, no injuries. Nobody got hurt or anything, but did have those little spin ups move through with that QLCS line. This is a supercell on its own. So this is an even more dangerous, possibly more dangerous situation, that it could be still something that could be producing a tornado on the ground at this time. In the Carl Junction, northwest side of Joplin areas, north of Galena, northeast of Galena as well, maybe even Crestline. There's a couple areas of rotation we're continuing to watch here on the radar scan. So please keep it tuned here, News Talk KZRG. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube. We've got the radar up on the screen so you can stay informed with us.
I'm also seeing it looks like another smaller area of rotation around Bell Center at this point. Are you seeing that?
Yeah, I'm seeing that as well. It's again, it's very hard to tell because there's so much rain and hail wrapping into this storm, but this is very dangerous on the northwest side of Joplin. They're near the Kansas-Missouri border in the Crestline, Carl Junction, Galena, and west side of Joplin areas. So
Ty,
please
for the fourth,
be somewhere safe.
For the fourth time, they've just started sounding the sirens here in the city limits of Joplin.
I'm going to guess it's going to continue several times with how slow this storm is moving, because it's going ridiculously slow. And a lot of people say, oh, they've sounded the sirens again. That means it's safe. No, they don't do that. The sirens are sounding. Stay in your safe place, because there's no reason to go outside. It's not daytime. Obviously, you're not going to see this storm if it were producing a tornado. Please, particularly dangerous situation, tornado warning continues.
Ty, are we getting any information on the National Weather Service chat at this point as to any other information about this severe storm, this severe tornado?
There actually is not any chatter, which is can be a good thing, because if they were seeing something definitive, then that would be a concern. But right now, we're still just radar watching areas of rotation, very heavy winds in the Galena, Carl Junction, Belleville, Bell Center area there, JJ highways of the west side of Joplin. So these are very, very dangerous places to be right now. You got to be in your storm shelter.
Yeah, we're seeing the heaviest rotation is right now still along Highway 69 alternate between Crestline and Riverton at this point. That's one of the areas that we're seeing, and that's still the hardest delineation of rotation that we're seeing at the moment, although there is some other rotation as well down around Bell Center. You're listening to continuous storm coverage because of a particularly dangerous tornado warning That is for Jasper County, and for northern Newton County, it's in effect until 10:45 this evening. Keep it here on News Talk KZRG, as well as the Zimmer radio, Zimmer marketing stations. We will definitely keep you informed.
And I'm just pulling up another look at this radar. Massive hail core. Again, like you mentioned, you never heard of lime-size hail before, but the National Weather Service gets really specific with their hail sizes. And we've got to take this very extra seriously, because a lot of lightning still with this storm, which means it is still very, very intense. Still that little area rotation near Crestline. Heavy gusty winds in Empire, north of Galena, headed for the northwest side of Joplin. So Bell Center Road, Central City Road, that little intersection, northwest side of town near, they got the EF1 tornado the other night. So these areas specifically are in for some damaging winds. And again, we've got some broad rotation right over Carl Junction. Could be a tornado. Still headed for Airport Drive in Webb City. You got to be taking shelter at this time. This rotation is very deviant, several little areas, so it's very hard to pinpoint just where it could be. But we are continuing to monitor it radar scan by radar scan, moment by moment here for you on News Talk KZRG and the stations of Zimmer Marketing.
If you're in the Webb City area, take cover. If you're in the Brooklyn Heights area, take cover. If you're in the Carthage area, you should go ahead and be taking cover now, although the storm is still a little bit to the west of you at this point. We're seeing rotation again. That's just to the southwest, the south and southwest of Carl Junction. It's now crossing over the state line. It's getting close to just north of Bell Center, probably getting closer to the Fountain Road area at this point.
Yeah, and we've got a storm chaser. He's trying to catch up with the storm. He was in Oswego for a while. He's in Columbus still, but he is driving through heavy, heavy rain. You will not see this tornado. It's just, it's rain wrapped. You're not going to see it. It's one big supercell, but it looks like the National Weather Service says a tornado threat is likely to continue into the early overnight period for all of southwest Missouri. The greatest tornado threat, of course, is what we're watching in the Joplin area, and we are going to continue to see it track east-southeasterly. So southwest Missouri could be a long night for areas in and around Joplin, Springfield, Branson, even McDonald County, Berry County, places like that. So please just make sure you're still weather aware. We've got this particularly dangerous situation, tornado warning, moving through the Joplin metro at this time. The latest radar scan shows a couple different areas of rotation between Carl and Joplin, between Crestline and Galena. So it is an absolute monster of a storm. You have got to be in your safe place.
Now, at this time, it appears that the rotation is still staying to the north of the Oklahoma and Kansas border. And also, it's right along the state line. It's what I'm looking at. It's just to the north of Galena now, crossing over into Missouri at this point. It'll be approaching JJP Highway very, very shortly if it's not already there. Again, this is a particularly dangerous situation. We have had a confirmed report of tornado on the ground, a large tornado. Also, we've had reports of large hail. The newest designation of 2-inch hail was called lime size, which I just heard for the first time today. So I guess I'd hate to hear what lemon and lime size would be.
They are very large, very damaging. And of course, I'm going to do the little spiel where do not stop under overpasses. If you're on I-44, I-49, wherever, do not stop underneath an overpass, because low visibility, I know you want to protect your car or whatever, but it becomes a wind tunnel effect. Plus, if people can't see behind you, they ram into the back of you. Very dangerous situation there. But again, particularly dangerous situation here in the area. And actually,
the rotation I'm seeing now is down centering around Bell Center, down around Central City Road, down towards 7th Street, which is Highway 66. For the 5th time, the Joplin tornado sirens are just now sounding.
And some good news, though. I don't know if you mentioned this. I kind of not sure if I heard you or not, but rotation broadening on the storm. They've downgraded it to a base tornado warning, so that's good. But the satellite and lightning observations still show it's very healthy. They will continue to look for potential cycling. So at least this is no longer a particularly dangerous situation tornado warning. It's just a base tornado warning, but we still have got to take it seriously just because the rotation has broadened a bit over the last couple of scans. So just making sure you are aware of that. And like you said, the tornado sirens going off again in the city of Joplin. Please take cover now.
The rotation right now I'm seeing is around just to the north of Bell Center, to around the fireworks place area. It is headed to the east, southeast. It is headed for the northern parts of Joplin. Keep that in mind. Also, rotation is headed possibly towards the Airport Drive area and the Webb City area. Take cover now as the tornado sirens are still sounding in the city of Joplin.
Very dangerous, damaging winds, though. Carl Junction, as you mentioned, Joplin Regional Airport, Webb City area, northern edge of Joplin, even, western sides as well. So even if there's not a tornado on the ground at this time, very heavy hail, heavy rain, heavy amounts of lightning, and heavy gusty winds are coming down with this storm. So it is still very, very dangerous for you to be outside or be somewhere that's not some substantial shelter.
Now, in southwest Missouri, we still have a tornado watch until 2 in the morning. So once we get through this storm, it does not mean that the threat is over. We could still have a possibility of more storms throughout the night. Southeast Kansas for Labette and Neosho County, they've included their tornado watch and extended it until 4 in the morning. For southwest Missouri, it's until 2 in the morning. For northeast Oklahoma, the tornado watch is in effect until midnight tonight. But again, we have a tornado warning for Jasper County and for northern Newton County. It's in effect until 10:45 p.m. And the rotation is still right just to the east, or just to the east of the state line. It is beginning to get close to the western parts of Joplin.
And again, we got our KZRG eye in the sky tower cam pointed right at it. The studio is just west of 32nd range line. I'm looking at it now. All I see is a bunch of lightning. I'm waiting to see if there's a lightning bolt or a lightning flash that's big enough to be able to see the base of the storm. But right now, not seeing anything when those lightning strikes flash. Very limited traffic on 32nd Street. That's great. I hope everybody's home. I hope everybody's in their safe place, just in case this storm were to produce a tornado once again, because even though it's no longer a particularly dangerous situation, tornado warning, that does not mean it can't produce again. Lightning, satellite observations are all showing it could be cycling, so it could be trying to revamp, recharge. We've got to keep an eye on it. Damaging winds, though. Carl Junction, Webb City, Joplin Regional Airport, Oronogo, Carterville, you're in for it here just momentarily. Even Shoal Creek Estates, Leewood, Duquesne, and Dunaweg, you've got these gusty winds headed for you as well, and we are again watching for any uptick in rotation.
The tornado warning for Jasper County and also for northern Newton County in effect until 10:45 tonight. The storm is very, very slow moving. It is still moving through. There is the wind shift line that is now around the Webb City area, getting close to the Oronogo area at this time. This is where the winds will shift directions at this point, and we're keeping an eye on it. Again, the tornado warning in effect for Jasper County and north part of Newton County until 10:45 this evening. Ty, what are you seeing right now?
Oh, sorry. It looks like there's a wind bag. Gusty winds, northwest side of Joplin, Belleville, Lone Elm, that general area headed for the northern edge of downtown. That's where it's kind of rotating. It's trying to rotate, but right now it looks like a big, gusty, straight line wind front coming through. And again, the storm could be cycling. We need to keep an eye on it. Again, just because it's not a particularly dangerous situation anymore, there still needs to be every precaution, every tornado precaution that you've got, you need to be taking it still in the city of Joplin. Not trying to scare anybody, not trying to doomsday anything, but we know how serious it can be, obviously, here in the city. So we need to be taking shelter. Carl Junction, Oronogo, Webb City, Joplin Regional Airport, Shoal Creek, Duquesne, Dunaweg, everybody in Joplin essentially still needs to be in their shelters. Carthage, you still need to be in getting to your shelter at least. I know you're on this eastern edge of this tornado warned storm. Sirens have probably been going off in Carthage, but you still have yet to see the brunt of the storm in the city of Carthage there on the Carterville, Brooklyn Heights area. That is still tracking your way as well.
Taking a look at the radar, we got a lot of looks like hail on the map extending from around the Airport Drive area between Airport Drive and Webb City on 171, down Main Street into the northern part of Joplin, then extending north of Joplin over to around Bell Center and over to around the Kansas state line. Another round of hail is on 69 alternate just to the north of the Riverton area at this time. This is all moving to the east, north, or east, southeast. And again, for the sixth time, I believe, the tornado sirens in Joplin have just now started sounding.
And again, it looks like a very, very gusty wind event, northern edge of Joplin, especially, let's say 20th Street and north up to the Airport Drive area, Webb City, Carterville, headed for right over range line, Missouri Southern, Duquesne, Dunaweg, and then headed for 249 there where it meets up with I-44 and I-49. Very, very gusty winds. A lot of hail coming down as well. Joplin Regional Airport, Webb City, Carterville, as I mentioned, everywhere getting pounded with hail. And of course, this threat for a rotating supercell. Going to check out the latest from the National Weather Service chat. And they do say, well, actually, no updates really from them, but it's possibly cycling the storm is, which means it's essentially trying to recharge. We just got to watch it. Again, it's hard to tell exactly where this rotation is at this time, but gusty winds going through Webb City, Carterville at this time, the Dunaweg and Duquesne areas as well. 249 as you head up towards Brooklyn Heights, and then Carthage, you will be in the path of the gustiest of winds.
You're listening live now to the stations of Zimmer Marketing, which include KZRG, FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, Kicks 102.5, Classic Hits 93.9, Big Dog 97.9, AM 1230 The Talker, and of course, Kissin 92.5.
And right now it looks like the rotation is just to the north of Joplin, between Airport Drive and Joplin at this time. That's where I'm seeing the rotation along Main Street Road at this time. So keep that in mind. And again, a tornado warning for Jasper County and northern Newton County. It's in effect until 1045. It also includes the eastern half of Cherokee County at this point. We're keeping an eye on the storm and keeping you informed. The tornado siren is still sounding here in the city limits of Joplin. If you're in Carthage, Brooklyn Heights, you need to be taking cover immediately. And also if you're in Fidelity.
I'm looking at the 7th Street, 7th and range line cam. My goodness, the rain is being just flown around. It's a very, again, crappy quality camera, but man, that rain is just absolutely bonkers. The way that it's just being wish-washed around. Luckily, I don't see any traffic there at 7th and range line, so that's good news that everybody's home or somewhere safe, not out on the roads. But it is just walloping the northern edge of Joplin, Webb City, Carterville areas. If there were a tornado, again, that rotation would be in the Webb City, Oronogo, north edge of Joplin, northeastern edge, headed for 249 right over there in the Carterville, Brooklyn Heights areas where it'd be headed. But it still looks more like a gusty wind event. They've kind of trimmed off this tornado warning just a bit. They've upgraded it to tennis ball size hail, though, being reported. So that's just absolutely massive hail coming down.
Rotation that I'm seeing right now, it's getting weaker a little bit, but it's now located along a range line in Newman Road and headed towards the Missouri Southern campus. Keep this in mind. This is a very dangerous storm. It is no longer a particularly dangerous situation, but there has been a lot of reports of some tornadoes touching down. We don't know if there's one touching down at this immediate moment, but keep that in mind and take cover immediately.
Yeah, Carterville getting pounded. Brooklyn Heights about to get pounded. Carthage, that gusty wind front with the area where it's trying to rotate, headed right for you. Oronogo, you're in the brunt of the storm. If there were an area of rotation, that general vicinity, 249, where you head right towards Highway HH, Prosperity, Lakeside, Brooklyn Heights, that's the general area in that Oronogo area, Carterville area. That's right there. That general vicinity is where it is trying to wrap up once again. But even if it's not wrapping up into a tornado, it is still producing damaging straight line wind gusts as we speak. A lot of hail over the city of Joplin as well, especially the northern edge. Let's say just north of 7th Street up to Webb City. South side of Joplin, still getting the heavy storm, but right now the main hail core going right over the northern half of Joplin into Duquesne, into Dunaweg, through Webb City, through Carterville, headed for Brooklyn Heights and Carthage as we speak. So please, still tornado warning on the storm, so please stay in your shelter.
National Weather Service in Springfield again saying that a tornado warning remains in effect until 10:45 this evening for southeastern Cherokee, northwestern Newton, and western Jasper counties. At 10:34, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Carterville or near Joplin, moving to the east at 45 miles per hour. Tornado and tennis ball size hail is possible. That is radar indicated, which is better than what we had earlier because earlier we had confirmed sightings. Locations that could be impacted by this storm include Joplin, Carthage, Webb City, Carl Junction, Baxter Springs, Galena, Oronogo, Carterville, Duquesne, Dunawig, Jasper, Diamond, Airport Drive, Leewood, Lowell, Silver Creek, Alba, Purcell, Shoal Creek Drive, and also Saginaw. Again, this is a tornado warning in effect until 10:45 this evening.
And we are getting some reports from the southeast Kansas part of the storm. Columbus reporting significant flash flooding in town, power lines down, people trapped in storm shelters. Outside resources are being called into the city of Columbus at this time. So this storm has the history of producing damaging winds, powerful rainfall that's continuing its flash flooding threat here. But we did get a new severe thunderstorm warning just now, tornado possible tag on it.
Yeah, we just got a severe thunderstorm warning in effect. Let me pull it up and get it ready to go. National Weather Service in Springfield issuing a severe thunderstorm warning for southwest and south central Missouri. Actually, this is a tornado watch that they just issued, a new watch. And it's a tornado watch in effect until 2 a.m., it says. That's all I'm seeing.
My mic cut out there. I apologize. We've got this new severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag on it. So I think that's some good news. It looks like they're letting this. They're going to continue the tornado warning for another 7 minutes, but they're also looking like they may replace it with the severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag on it.
I just got it pulled up. It says the National Weather Service in Springfield issuing a severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Cherokee County, northwestern Newton County, and southern Jasper County. It's in effect until 11:15 tonight. At 10:37, severe thunderstorms are located along a line extending from Webb City or Baxter Springs or to Baxter Springs, moving to the east at 25 miles per hour. Tennis ball size hail and 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts are possible. That is radar indicated.
And do have some Columbus, some news coming out of Columbus. I'm not sure if you mentioned this or not, but Columbus reporting significant flash flooding in town again. Power lines down, people trapped in storm shelters. Outside resources being called in to the city of Columbus, Kansas, where we were talking about that storm rolling through. So again, not only the tornado threat and damaging wind threat, but flash flooding is a problem in the city of Joplin and surrounding areas. So please turn around, don't drown.
You're listening to severe weather coverage on the stations of Zimmer Marketing and News Talk KZRG on FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310.
Along with, of course, Kicks 102.5, Classic Hits 93.9, Big Dog 97.9, AM 1230 The Talker, and Kissin 92.5.
The Storm Prediction Center just putting out one of their mesoscale discussions where they kind of, give us an update about places that are in tornado watches. They say Southwest Missouri, South Central Missouri, tornado threat expected to continue for several more hours into the early overnight period across Southwest and South Central Missouri. So it looks like the environment's still ripe for rotating and strong supercells in Southwest Missouri and South Central Missouri. So that's generally talking about Newton, McDonald, Berry, Lawrence, Springfield, even into the Springfield metro as well, Branson, places like that as we move farther east of Joplin. Right now, of course, our concern is still this tornado warning that's got 5 minutes on it left, but also a severe thunderstorm warning with that tornado possible tag. So damaging winds are and have headed over 249, headed for the west side of Carthage, west side of 249, or I-49, there, Mercy Hospital, Carthage, places like Fidelity, where I-44 and I-49 and Highway 59 meet up. That's the general area of where this rotating storm is headed. Big time hail also, get ready, in Carthage.
And also, we want to mention again, the tornado warning is in effect until 10:45 of this evening. But I've noticed that it looks like the storm might be getting a little bit weaker, at least in the western part of the warned area at this time.
Definitely is. It's some good news there in Galena and Baxter. And of course, Columbus, you're now out of the storm as well. But as we reported, had some damage. People apparently trapped in storm shelters in the city of Columbus with a flash flooding threat as well. Even some power lines down, trees down. We've got power outages rolling in the city of Joplin. So it's going to be a long night for crews, electric crews. So please give them patience as the storm rolls through to get your power back on. If it has gone out, I'm not sure exactly some of the places, but there have definitely been some hard hit spots in the Joplin metro and surrounding areas. So we'll see what the National Weather Service does with this tornado warning that expires in 4 minutes. I'm not sure. The siren's still going, or I can't hear them from where I'm at. Are they still going?
They've stopped at the moment, at least in the last about minute or so. Latest radar sweep just now showing a core of hail around Dunawig along 7th Street between Joplin and also we have a new tornado warning for Jasper and Newton County just issued just now.
Yep, I'll go ahead and give you the full text of that here. Radar indicated rotation tornado warning. This storm capable of producing a tornado located over Carterville or near Joplin, moving east at 45 miles an hour. So if you're in Carthage, you got to be taking shelter. If you are on the east side of Joplin, still be in your safe place. Interstate 44, Interstate 49, where those interchanges are there. And then, of course, the I-49 corridor in Carthage. You've got to be taking shelter right now. It also includes places like Carytown. Also includes Fidelity, Diamond, Sarcoxie, Low Russell, Avila, areas of eastern Jasper County, even extreme western Lawrence County, places even as we look into Dade County, like Lockwood and Golden City, kind of in that area under the storm, under this tornado warning. Pierce City, Wentworth, you're also in this tornado warning box. Storm's really trying to start spinning up again as it heads towards I-49 in the Carthage area. Please take shelter there.
Just for your information, Ty, in Joplin, the tornado sirens have just now started sounding again. The tornado warning the new one just issued, is in effect until 11:30 tonight. We're getting a lot of lightning here at the studios at near 32nd range line, by the way.
Massive lightning showing up on the radar scan. So this is a storm that's continuing to be intense. Again, this is a downstream tornado warning, not for downstream, but it's continuing the tornado warning as it moves east. Jasper, Newton, a bit of western Lawrence and Dade counties. Rotation is still rather broad, but is showing signs of trying to cycle. So the storm essentially trying to recharge its batteries and get going once again, moving still into an environment that is conducive for producing tornadoes. As we did, I think, see one earlier on one of the KDOT traffic cameras north of Baxter. I think you could kind of see a funnel on the ground. We'll have to take a look at some of that tape or some of that footage and see exactly what we saw, enhance that image type deal. But it looks like this has produced tornadoes in the past and is continuing to move east, maybe a little southeasterly as well. But Joplin, still going to be in your shelter. Galena, still in your shelter. Webb City, Carthage especially. I-49, north of Fidelity in the Carthage area, got to be in your shelter at this time. Please take this storm seriously.
Again, the tornado warning that was just issued now in effect until 11:30 p.m. It includes locations of Joplin, Carthage, Webb City, Monette, Carl Junction, Oronogo, Carterville, Duquesne, Sarcoxie, Pierce City, Dunawig, Lockwood, Jasper, Diamond, also Airport Drive. Also, it includes Silver Creek, also Alba, Purcell, and Shoal Creek Estates. Keep that in mind. Again, if you're in the area, take cover immediately.
And you're kind of looking at the KZRG tower cam, a lot of rain coming down in Joplin. Flash flooding is going to be a problem, especially streets that have a hard time draining. You need to turn around, don't drown. It looks like they have removed Cherokee County, is that right, from this tornado warning? So I think that's some good news there for southeast Kansans.
Yes, they have
still
removed
some heavy
that.
amounts of rain.
It's now extending extending from around Airport Drive down through Joplin. It does include Airport Drive. It looks like Carl Junction's been taken out of the tornado warning.
That is some good news there. Western half of Joplin also taken out of this tornado warning storm as it continues to push to the east. Again, the main area of concern headed right for Carthage, headed north of Diamond, the Fidelity area there, I-49, I-44, that interchange as you are south of Carthage. We're 249 Brooklyn Heights. You enter Carthage there from the west side, Pleasant Valley. This is the area of concern, northeast of Dunawig, Again, massive amounts of hail coming down in Dunawig and Atlas and Scotland. Just moved over 249, moved through Carterville a little bit ago. Brooklyn Heights, you're getting it. Carthage, you're getting pounded. That's the area that we're really, really concerned about, any type of rotation or gusty winds.
Yeah, we also now have confirmation 2nd and Maiden Lane in northwest Joplin, P to golf ball-sized hail being reported, along with rolling power outages in the Joplin metro area.
In fact, if you have some pictures that you have taken tonight, we're not encouraging you to take them, but you can text them to us at 417-782-1310.
Or upload them in the KZRG app, totally free to download in the App Store and Google Play Store.
And we're getting power outage reports, power in and out at Joplin High School. It's going to be electric crews, so give them some patience. Of course, they're going to wait until the storm's over, but please, obviously, they're human beings too, so give them a chance to get your electric on. It's still a very electrified storm, so it's not safe for them to get out there as we speak, but crews will be in and out around the area tonight and overnight. So, again, just give them some patience as they work to get your power back on if it is indeed out. But Carthage need to be taking shelter. Fidelity, it's even Diamonds, Reeds, Avila, areas in and around Sarcoxy, Russell, you need to be taking shelter at this time. Yeah, Wentworth as well. A lot of smaller towns. Carytown, I think you're on the northern edge of where this rotation would be, but really concerned about the areas in and around Carthage and Fidelity at this time.
Yeah, the tornado warning is extending to the north, just right around to the Jasper area. Then it extends up through Golden City into Dade County down there, and then it goes down into the western third of Lawrence County, which includes Stott City, and it's just to the west of Mount Vernon is where the tornado warning is. That's in effect until 11:30 tonight.
Yeah, we also have confirmed power outages now just north of Joe Becker Memorial Stadium, sort of by Blackstone Gastropub, northern Joplin to the, looks like, the west of the North Park Mall. That is just one of many confirmed power outages in the area this evening.
Big time hail, Carthage, I-49, north of I-44 in Fidelity. Big time hail just moved through Dunaweg and Duquesne. That's where that gusty winds, the gusty storm front is that's trying to still wrap up at this time. Brooklyn Heights to Carthage, their Fur Road. Interstate 49 is headed right for you where it meets up with I-44, kind of just north of I-44 in Dunaweg, northeast of Dunaweg, moving east towards Carthage and the south side of Carthage especially. So please stay in your shelter in the city of Carthage.
Tornado warning in effect for northern Newton County and all or most of the northern part of Jasper County. It's in effect until 11:30 tonight. Tornado sirens again just started going off. It does include the city of Joplin, Dunaweg, Carthage, Webb City. Oronogo is also included, and then also Sarcoxy to the east and Stott City to the east, as well as into Dade County and just to the west of Mount Vernon. If you're on I-44, if you're just to the west of Sarcoxy, you're hitting the heavy rain and hail at this point.
It looks like we got a report of a tree down on a house near the Joplin Airport. Heavy hail, 20th and Central City, different sizes coming down. So even though the gusty winds and the rotating part of the storm move through, even on that backside of it, still some big time hail coming down. Even in Galena, as we look back towards Riverton and Lowell to the west side of Joplin, through Joplin, everybody getting some hail tonight. Dunaweg, Duquesne, headed for Fidelity. Carthage getting some hail, and Carthage especially along and south of 249. That's the area where I'm still seeing the gustiest of winds and rotation as it heads for Interstate 49 at this moment between Carthage and Fidelity.
Ty is just looking at the radar. One thing to the west of us, it looks like the heavy rain has started slowing up in Cherokee County. We had a phone call just a moment ago that came into the KZRG control room. And what do you have, Ted?
Yeah, and we're getting some reports now that transformer may have blown at the Nissan dealership, or at least near it on Rangeline, and a lot of power along Rangeline. A lot of those street lights are not going to be operating at this time. If you are cruising around this evening, try not to. Try and seek shelter, as Ty and Steve have been pointing out. But in the event that you do need to travel for whatever reason, we are getting reports of downed street lighting on Rangeline in Joplin.
That would be at least starting around 23rd in Rangeline and then to the north. Nissan being located around 22nd, 23rd, and Rangeline. Hail is now in the Carthage area, extending back to Brooklyn Heights, and then again heavier hail around Dunaweg in the eastern part of Joplin, and I-44 there where Dunaweg is going through around 249. that is getting a lot of hail at this point.
Yeah, I'm looking at this latest hail near East 32nd Street and I-44. My goodness, it is very, very large amounts of hail there. Again, East 32nd Street, that'd be east of Flying J, and it's moving east towards the Fidelity area there. That's Highway FF, of course, where East 32nd meets up with Highway 59 south of the I-44, I-49 interchange. Big time hail, a little bit of rotation, gusty wind front is moving right there towards Fidelity. Maybe even the north side of Diamond. Again, this is a tornado warning. We want to take it seriously. It's still radar indicated. It's not particularly dangerous situation like it was earlier, but we still have got to be serious about it. Get your shelter in the Fidelity and Diamond areas. Carthage still need to be in your shelter as well. That area of the gustiest winds is headed right for the I-44, I-49 interchange at this time, and even over East 32nd Street near Fidelity as well. Big time hail coming down.
Ty, this storm has had a history of producing tornadoes. It had a particularly dangerous situation that occurred around Independence, Kansas, about 6 miles to the northeast of Independence, Kansas at Sycamore earlier. Had multiple reports of tornadoes touching down in Labette County between the Tri-City Airport and City of Parsons and Mound City. Had reports of tornadoes on the ground around Oswego. Also have had reports of tornado funnel clouds that at least the rotation was going through around Crestline and then around Bell Center just south of Carl Junction.
Yeah. So this storm's it's been producing damage, flash flooding. It's got it all. It's had it all. We think we've seen funnel clouds and tornadoes on the ground earlier from the storm, so it could be recycling. It's just the rotation's not looking all that impressive right now, but big time hail. I'm going to get really specific here near the Fidelity area, Apple Road, County Road 160 and 150, East 32nd Streets there, east of Flying J. Big time hail coming down in that kind of industrial area of Joplin. I think that it's headed right for the Fidelity and Highway 59 corridor. And of course, it's been going through Carthage as well. Carthage, you've got more coming. You got more hail coming at least. And that gusty amount of wind is headed for the northern edge of Diamond too. So Diamond, Fidelity, up towards Carthage. That's the brunt. You're getting the brunt of the storm right now and or are about to be getting it. So please be in your shelter if you are in that specific area.
Still getting a lot of lightning at this time as well.
Yeah, we have another really quick confirmed power outage in North Webb City, north of the Webb City High School, just east of the Joplin Regional Airport, impacting a lot of residential customers in that area, so please keep that in mind.
Do have a new little update. Wall cloud reported at Loma Linda. That's from a Southwest Missouri Regional Skywarn ham radio operator. I'm looking at any type of rotation near Loma Linda.
I see some minor rotation there, just
a
around
little
Loma
bit.
Linda.
Yeah. And like they say, this storm could be cycling. So when they're saying cycling, it could produce these new areas of rotation, kind of like when we were seeing it go through that north of Galena, north of Empire area. It kind of switched back to the Crestline area. So the storm has deviant motion. It's got little storm mergers going on, little other showers joining in on the party, so to speak. So the area's rotation can differ and change over time, over a quick, short amount of time. So we need to keep an eye on that if that wall cloud was reported near Loma Linda. But still, Loma Linda not in a tornado warning at this time. Fidelity, Diamonds, Carthage, you're getting the brunt of the storm as we speak. Looking downstream a little bit, Sarcoxie, Wentworth, Reeds, La Russell, and Avila need to be taking shelter. We've heard Pierce City's had their sirens going off for a while. Looks like Monette also activated their sirens a few minutes ago. Monette, you're still got time to get in that shelter, but this storm is moving east-southeasterly. So Fidelity, Diamond, Sarcoxie, Wentworth, Pierce City, Reeds, La Russell, Avila, Stott City, even Monette and Freistadt need to be taking shelter at this time, as well as Carthage. As I mentioned, still please stay in your shelter.
You're listening to severe weather coverage on the stations of Zimmer Marketing as well as News Talk KZRG on FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310.
Along with Kicks 102.5, Classic Hits 93.9, Big Dog 97.9, AM 1230 The Talker, and of course Kissin 92.5. Don't forget about the Zimmer Storm Center app, totally free to download, gives you access to a live radar and custom weather alerts that you can turn on and off for your region, your area, for whatever type of alert you would like to have.
It's perfect because I know a lot of people are asking about their specific locations all the time, and they want to know their exact address and things like that. We'll put your exact address in there, and you get warnings issued for you as they happen directly from the National Weather Service, sometimes even faster than we can read it out on air. You got it right there, Simmer Storm Center app, and of course you get your 7-day forecasts and things like that. But right now, still following this tornado-warned storm, pounding the area of Fidelity and Diamond and I-49, I-44 as we speak. Still very broad rotation, but we're watching for any little area that might start to tighten up because, as the National Weather Service mentioned, satellite observations and lightning density essentially show that this storm still has juice, energy, all the things that it needs to keep spinning or keep trying to spin and to produce tornadoes. The latest radar scan coming in now still showing a broad area of rotation headed for the northern edge of Diamond and Fidelity areas. Looks like it's taking more of a southeasterly track. So if I'm in areas north of Granby, if I'm in Diamonds, Highway V, Highway J, Highway 59 in that general area of Fidelity, East 32nd, Highway FF as it goes east towards Parsley and Pepsin, even Motley, Sarcoxie, Reeds. These are the areas I really want to keep watching. Wentworth as well.
Yeah, by the way, we
City.
just got a call in on our call line at 417-782-1310. Reports of heavy flooding happening on the intersection of 4th and Range Line in Joplin. Reports of about 2 feet of water overflowing that area, and confirmation that pretty much all of Range Line now completely out of power. So if you are driving around in the Joplin area, number one, please don't be. Number two, if you are, please keep that in mind. Range Line, as far as the eye can see, we do now have confirmed reports completely out of power.
And I will tell you that we'd had a report earlier of a transformer getting hit around the Nissan dealership around 23rd and Rangeline earlier. I think we saw that bolt of lightning from our window here at News Talk KZRG, and we heard the thunder very quickly, so it's not that far away from us.
This is just a powerful, it's very, very intense here. This is a storm that just won't quit. It's trying to spin up again near Fidelity, even a little bit of rotation there south of Carthage. It continues to push east-southeast. So Diamond, Fidelity, you got to be in your shelters. Sarcoxie, get in that shelter. Rural areas of eastern Jasper County, northeastern Newton County, along and north of Highway 60. I think Granby and Ritchie, you're just south of this tornado-warned storm. We're going to watch and see how it tracks. If it tracks more southerly, it'd be a concern for you. But right now, it's still hanging on more of a southeast track. But Sarcoxie, Wentworth, Pierce City, Diamond, Fidelity, please be in your shelters at this time. Again, as you guys mentioned, as I'm watching a storm chaser drive through Joplin, just heavy amounts of rain coming down, just an awful experience to be out and about in the city of Joplin right now. So please, if you don't have to be out, if you've been out all night or whatever, just you got to be home. You got to be somewhere that is safe and has a substantial shelter, because flash flooding can be just as deadly if you drive into flooded roadways.
In addition to the tornado warning, it's in effect until 11:30. We have also a severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Cherokee County, northwestern Newton County, and southern Jasper County. It's in effect until 11:15 p.m., and it's affecting quite a bit of the area with tennis ball-sized hail and 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Again, that's a severe thunderstorm warning for our areas that are not included in the tornado warning. That is in effect until 11:15. The tornado warning is in effect until 11:30.
And I do have a new update from the Storm Prediction Center here. They're talking about the specific areas: far northeast Oklahoma, far northwest Arkansas, even extreme southeast Kansas. They say local extensions of a tornado watch may be needed based on the evolution of convection across this area. So if you're in northeast Oklahoma, northwest Arkansas, your severe weather threat may not be done. But I'm just getting this new radar scan. Diamond and Fidelity, you've got to still be in your shelter. Pepsin, Parsley, Motley, these little communities along and south of I-44, right around the Newton County, Jasper County line near Sarcoxie, please take shelter. The storm is trying to ramp up once again. If there's not tornadic activity, it's still very gusty winds and tennis ball-sized hail being reported with this storm. So tornado warning continues eastern Jasper County, northeastern Newton County, western Lawrence County, even a little section of Dade County, but Lockwood, you're fine. Golden City, you're fine. Those areas, you are all good to go. But We need to watch to our south. Sarcoxy, Fidelity, Diamond, south of Carthage right now. There's a little bit of a trying to spin up there. I-44 and I-49 interchange. Still the area of concern moving southeasterly. So Pierce City, Wentworth, Monette, keep an eye on it. Even Mount Vernon, let's watch it, especially the western side of Mount Vernon, because this latest radar scan still shows this storm with some intense winds as it tries to wrap up once again.
We now have 8 confirmed power outages in and around the Joplin metro area, impacting more than 4,000 customers. Please keep that in mind. One of those confirmed outages is near the 32nd and Main Street area of Joplin, I should say, along with all of Range Line, still in the dark as we speak.
Ty, the latest radar sweep I'm seeing, it looks like they're beginning to get a little rotation again to the south and west of Fidelity along FF Highway before it gets to Highway 59. Are you seeing that as well?
I am seeing that. Isn't that crazy how we're still talking about these areas, just how slow this storm is moving, and just even though there's so much precipitation in this storm, it's still trying to rotate. So if there was something on the ground, which I don't want to say it's not, but it would be rain wrapped. You wouldn't see it. There's no going outside and looking at it. Obviously, it's nighttime. You're not going to see it. Just get your shelter. Still, if you're in Carthage, I-44, I-49 interchange, Fidelity, Diamond, Pepsin, partially, Motley, little areas there around Sarcoxy, Reeds, and Avila. You got to still be in your shelter. Even in Little Russell, I'm going to focus in more on areas along and south of I-44, I-49 interchange there near Fidelity. So Diamond, Fidelity, Highway J as you head from Diamond east towards Wentworth, Sarcoxy along and south of I-44. That's the main areas I'm concerned with right now, because this area rotation again is trying to spin up there near the four-leaf clover of I-44 and I-49. That's exit 18 and 18A and 18B there south of Carthage, right near Fidelity. So we'll keep watching it for you right here. Stations of Zimmer Marketing. I know it's after 11 o'clock tonight, Sunday night. We knew tonight, we looked last week, the model trends were starting to show tonight could be a big night. Then it kind of downtrended a little bit, caught us off guard. Earlier in the day, we were looking, cloud cover was very minimal. So we were looking at the observations from the surface and saying this could be something that could be concerning later on. Then we watched this one cell in southeast Kansas continue to push and push and push east. And that's what we're still dealing with here in the Joplin metro, the storm that produced, we do believe, some tornado damage in the Sycamore, Kansas area near Cherryvale and Parsons. And that was hours ago. And the storm's been moving so slowly that it gave us time to prepare, gave us time to warn you guys about the storm on our Facebook page and, of course, on air. We've been keeping you up to date and informed. So we hope that our updates have helped and will continue to help as the storm pushes east towards Fidelity, Diamond, and Sarcoxy in the Wentworth areas at this time.
Ty, we do have some good news for Cherokee, Crawford, and Bourbon counties. The National Weather Service has canceled the tornado watch that was in effect until 11 o'clock, probably because it's now past 11 o'clock.
I think so. I've seen that on the radar map. The map looks weird because there's tornado watches behind it and in front of it. So I think there'll be some sort of extension there. But this severe weather threat's not over. A lot of people are asking about can I close my eyes? Can I rest? Can I take a breather? I think there could be some convection that pops up even as we get into the early morning hours, something we're going to have to continue to watch. But right now, if I'm in Sarcoxy, I'm getting in my shelter, or I am in my shelter still. If I'm in Wentworth, I'm in my shelter. Highway J between Diamond and Wentworth is going to be a concern. I-44 near Fidelity and towards Sarcoxy, big time concerns as you head towards, let's say, exit 18 of I-44 all the way through the exit 22 area. Then you get closer to Sarcoxy, exits 29. Those are the main areas of concern for I-44. I'm seeing a bit of an uptick in rotation there right along I-44 and the I-49 four-leaf clover. I've mentioned that place several times, but again, the storm's nearly stationary with how slowly it's moving.
Ty, I was looking back on the radar at this time. I'm not seeing very much storms back in northern Oklahoma at this point. It looks like it's clearing up at least that direction, although they are still under a tornado watch until midnight tonight.
They are, and I'm looking. We've got a bunch of storm chasers still along Highway 60 near Bartlesville, Nowata, and Veneta, stretching that way. So I'm not sure if they're there waiting for more storms to pop up or if they're just traveling home or whatnot. But that latest mesoscale discussion from the National Weather Service still shows that they could be extending the tornado watch in parts of northeast Oklahoma, north central Oklahoma, and even northwest Arkansas. So we're going to have to continue to watch that because there is still the chance for convection, severe convection, essentially severe thunderstorms overnight. So we're going to continue to watch that in northeast Oklahoma, extreme southwest Missouri, and northwest Arkansas.
Tornado warning still in effect. They just updated the tornado warning for Jasper County and northern Newton County just seconds ago. It now cuts off Joplin, appears to be out of it or close to it. It's extending from around Dunawig up to just to the south of Carthage to Avila, and then down to Stott City, and then it goes over through Sarcoxy, and also for Pierce City is the southern edge, and it's headed to the east-southeast at this point.
I don't want to alarm anybody, but I'm pretty concerned with the latest radar trends there near Fidelity. It's wrapping up more and more. The latest maybe 5 or 6 radar scans, this is the most impressive that it's looked, at least with this inflow area. You've got this heavy, gusty amount of winds headed for Diamonds right over Highway 59 at this time, in Fidelity as well. And then you've got a little inlet right over I-44 near the four-leaf clover, again, of I-44 and I-49 moving east. So highway, that's County Road, I don't know if it's a highway, a state highway, County Road 130, excuse me, County Road 120, County Road 110, right along I-44, this area of rotation, at least gusty winds, that's where it's trying to wrap up once again. And it's moving east, pretty much along I-44. So Sarcoxy, please take shelter if you haven't already. Reeds, take shelter if you haven't already. Wentworth, go ahead and take shelter if you have not already. And if we're Mount Vernon, we're watching it. No warning for Mount Vernon right now, but this storm again is going to be tracking right along I-44 and could possibly impact Mount Vernon down the line. But we're going to continue to watch it, see if it tracks easterly or if it tries to, go a little more southeast. There's a lot to keep our eyes on. Please stay weather aware. We'll keep you up to date right here, stations of Zimmer Marketing, because severe weather breaks out, we break in.
Yeah, I just got an updated screen on the velocity radar, and it appears that the rotation is beginning to rebuild just to the north of Diamond, extending up just to the east of Fidelity, and along I-44 just to the south of I-44. That is headed to the east-southeast at this point.
It is, and look at that hail. Look at the hail coming down there south of Carthage, between Carthage and Diamonds, and right over Fidelity. Big time hail coming down. We do have a storm chaser. He is just went through Dunaweg. He's about to get on the interstate right there at Scotland's. What is that, near the
mile marker 12?
Yeah, mile marker 12. That essentially East 7th Street exit. He's about to get on the interstate there, but he is driving through some heavy rain, and you can even see flooded roadways the way he's going. So please, flash flooding is also a threat tonight. We cannot forget, turn around, don't drown. It just takes a few inches of moving water to take your vehicle and sweep it off the roadway. So again, I know it's a Sunday night, really not all that well, everybody's staying in from what I'm seeing on the MoDOT cameras and our tower camera, but please just don't go out if you don't have to.
You were talking about the hail. We've had some reported to the size of limes, some to the size of golf balls, ping pong ball size, and even golf ball size hail and tennis ball size. Boy, if you're into sports, you got the right size coming down.
It's just absolutely bonkers here. We've got a lot of let's say insurance claims, may be out tonight due to all this hail, especially for anybody that doesn't have, garage or a carport or anything. But still watching this area of rotation, try to wrap up again near Fidelity, northeast of Diamonds, I-44, just east of the I-49 interchange now. There's a little community called Parsley. I've never heard of it. Pepsin, haven't heard of it. Motley, they're places that may be unincorporated, but I know people that are in that area that live there will know and recognize these places. That's why we give you the very minute details. I-44, the exit 22 area, that's where we're really concerned about with this area of rotation. The latest radar scan shows big time hail in Diamonds, in Fidelity, southeast of Dunawig, right over I-44,
Yeah, if
headed
you're on
towards the Sarcoxy area.
now, good news, just got another scan. The hail core has shrunk a little bit, but it's moved just to the east of Fidelity on I-44, and it's still very heavy. It's probably in the vicinity of mile marker 22, as you were just talking about, extending over to probably about another 7 miles to the east.
Yeah, so if I'm in Sarcoxy, I'm in my shelter for sure, but this area rotation's tracking a little more southeasterly. I know the warning says east, but let me look here at these latest radar scans. It's trying to track more southeasterly. So um, I'm concerned about Wentworth, south side of Sarcoxy especially. But I'm in my shelter if I'm in Sarcoxy. Highway 37 between Wentworth and Sarcoxy. Highway J between Diamond and Wentworth. South of I-44. That's the general area where this rotation would be. Pierce City, take shelter. Sot City, go ahead and take shelter if you haven't already. Monette, northwest side of town's in this tornado warning still, but you need to take shelter at this time. Mount Vernon, again, we're keeping an eye on it, keeping an eye on the track of the storm to see if it will head towards Mount Vernon or take a track more towards Pierce City and Monette instead.
Tornado warning for southeastern and south central Jasper County, north central and northeastern Newton County, and then all over into western parts of Lawrence County. That tornado warning is in effect until 11:30 Central Time, and that's just about another 15, 16, 17 minutes away at this time. And again, that rotation you're talking about, it's now moved a little bit farther to the south. It's just to the east of Diamond, at least is what I'm seeing on my screen.
Yeah, and some good news here. You are right about that. National Weather Service says somebody asked about possible Greene County warning, but they say they do not have plans to issue a warning, tornado warning for Greene County. They will issue a severe thunderstorm warning with tornado possible tag as it moves into a weaker environment for tornadoes. That's Greene County. Again, we've still got to go. It's still in northeastern Newton County and southeastern Jasper County. This storm is, and still has to go through Lawrence County. But the National Weather Service at least says it's somewhat weaker environment for tornadic activity. So that's at least a little bit of positive news, but we still want to take shelter in Sarcoxy, Wentworth, and the north of Ritchie areas.
At the rate of speed it's going, we might still be doing the morning news watch by the time this gets out of Jasper County.
Which, by the way, you can tune into every single weekday starting at 6 on FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, News Talk KZRG.
You're listening to severe storm coverage on the Zimmer marketing stations, including News Talk KZRG, AM 1230 The Talker, and
Kicks 102.5, Classic Hits 93.9, Big Dog 97.9, and Kissin 92.5.
The spotter on I-44, mile marker 33, looking west. They're near Highway 97, says they're reporting a lowering base. They're watching for rotation. So that's a storm spotter in that area. Right now, the area concerns near Diamonds, northeast of Diamond, east of Diamond, Highway J, headed for Wentworth, and the south side of Sarcoxy. That's the area I'm concerned with. And the latest radar scan still shows broad rotation in that general vicinity. So that's where you need to be taking shelter. Joplin, no longer in the tornado warning. I know I need to make sure people in Joplin are aware you're no longer in this warning, especially along and west of I-49 and along and west of 249. So you can come out of your shelters in Joplin if you haven't already. You can in Webb City, Carl, or Onogo, really along and west of 249. You can come out of your shelters. Still some heavy rain coming down. It's still loud out there. But
we're also getting a lot more hail again on I-44 from just to the east of Fidelity to about halfway to the Sarcoxy area, so probably to about mile marker exit 22. Also, some more hail reported down to around Diamond, extending to the northwest, more than likely to the George Washington Carver Monument area, through the city of Diamond and a little bit to the east.
And that is, again, they're going to have to issue, I think, some sort of new warning here for eastern central Newton County, because this storm is taking more of a southerly dive. It's going more southeasterly than east. So I do believe some sort of warning will be coming out for areas in and around let's just say along and north of Highway 60, eastern Newton County, western Barry Lawrence County area. We're talking Pierce City, Monette. You need to be watching this storm. Wentworth, you need to be taking shelter at this time. In and around Ritchie, northeast of Granby, the storm may just clip the northern edge of Granby, but it's looking like it's trying to move more southeasterly than east. But the area rotation still looking more like a gusty winds event here in that area. But still, tornado warning, take it serious.
Yeah, the tornado warning in effect until 11:30. The severe thunderstorm warning that was for most of the county has been allowed to expire. That was as of 11:15, so that would have been 3 minutes ago. But the tornado warning is still in effect until 11:30. Keep it here on News Talk KZRG and the storm or stations of Zimmer Marketing. And looking at the radar, it looks like the rain is still coming down a little bit farther to the west of us, but not too far at this time.
Yeah, we're watching for any back building. They call it back building, essentially storms that fire off behind the storm, behind the main storm. And that's why I think these tornado watches have been extended and or not allowed to cancel, because there is still chances for severe weather overnight. And that's very unfortunate because, we all want to rest our eyes and, hit the old dusty trail and pack it up. But
I don't think the trail's going to be very. I don't think the trail's going to be very dusty at this point.
The trail is going to be very muddy. Flash flooding is going to be a threat through the nights. So please turn around, don't drown. Good point, Steve.
Now I will let you know if you're traveling to the north on I-49, the Kansas City area, they've issued them another severe thunderstorm watch that goes all the way back into central Kansas at this time. That's a severe thunderstorm watch there. And below that in southeast Kansas from Wichita to Labette and Neosho counties, they have a tornado watch in effect. That one, I believe, goes until 4 in the morning. The one in northeast Oklahoma is still set to expire at midnight. The one in southeast or southwest Missouri at this time is set to expire at 2 in the morning.
Yeah, by the way, we're also, really quickly here, we're getting some more reports of very severely flooded areas on the west side of Jasper County in the area from Joplin up to Cardinal Junction. So if you are driving, don't be, if at all possible. If you have to, keep that in mind. There are some areas of flooding happening on the west side of Jasper County in the area from Joplin to CJ.
That might include JJ Highway because that floods if you get a lot of heavy rain there at Stringtown, just south of Stringtown.
Yeah, it does.
Oh yeah, we've all traveled that road.
Me almost every day, a couple of times.
Yeah, it's a beautiful road, beautiful roadway. We do have a storm chaser. He's following the storm. He's just north of the area rotation. He's on I-44 about to go past mile marker 22 there, the Partially area. He's driving through a lot of rain. I-44. If you're on there, you're on the interstate, you got to take it slow. Not a great place to be. I understand you just can't pull over necessarily. I don't want you stopping under the overpasses. But please take it slow because hydroplaning is a very real possibility there in the heaviest amount of rains. But this storm chaser is looking for any types of rotation, but it is quite the light show in the I-44 Sarcoxy areas, northeast of Diamonds, little community of Pepsin and Partially. Let's see, that is Highway E. That's the area near where the rotation would be as it heads kind of towards Sarcoxy, maybe towards the Wentworth area. It's still moving very, very slowly, but even if there wasn't any sort of tornadic activity, these gusty straight line winds can be just as damaging and even deadly if a tree were to fall on a home that you were in. So please take these storms seriously. Make sure you've got substantial shelter around you and your family tonight as this storm pushes east. Again, city of Joplin, no longer under this tornado warning. So areas along and west of 249, you are good from this specific tornado warned storm.
Tornado warned storm in effect until 11:30 for southeastern Jasper County, northeastern Newton County, and the first western half of Lawrence County. That's the tornado warning in effect until 11:40 or 11:30 this morning, or 11:45, I'm sorry. It's been a long day today. It's been a long weekend. It's in effect till 11:30 at this time.
You're doing a great job, Steve, and you're keeping people up to date here on the stations of Zimmer Marketing. That's what we do when severe weather breaks out. We break in and we let you know that there is, of course, still this tornadic warned storm just south of I-44, the Pepsin, Motley, and Park areas, southwest of Sarcoxy. That's where I'm seeing a little bit of, I wouldn't call it rotation. It's just trying to wrap up in this general vicinity. So Highway J, between Diamond and Wentworth, that's where I'm concerned about, south of I-44. Latest radar scan shows big-time hail and rain coming down on I-44 and north and east of Diamond, headed towards the east, maybe a little bit southeasterly as well. So Sarcoxy, stay in your shelter. Wentworth, stay in your shelter. Pierce City, still got to, if you've been in your shelter, you still need to be there. I know the storm sirens have probably been going off for a while, but you've got to remain there. So we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning. It looks like they've added a tornado possible tag on that, and the damage threat is considerable with golf ball size hail that is pretty much the same areas as this tornado warned storm.
Yeah, we just got some more reports in on our call line, 417-782-1310. More reports of severe flooding on Rangeline in Joplin. This being reported on Rangeline in 24th, sort of near Arby's and Brahms, that kind of area. Little Caesars is out there, McAllister's. Lowe's, yep, Lowe's right in that area as well. So more reports of severe flooding on the Rangeline Road in Joplin, and continued reports of power outages along Rangeline as well.
The new severe thunderstorm warning? Go ahead.
Does that normally happen? I mean, Rangeline, I know a lot of people are staying in, so there's not a lot of cars to wash off the water on the roadway, but does Rangeline normally flood like that during
that
storms?
area is flooded multiple times over the years that I've been in the Joplin area. It'll get up to 2-3 feet of water right there in front of Lowe's and across from what used to be Red Hot and Blue in that area. That severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued, it includes eastern Joplin, Carthage, Webb City, Monette, Granby, Carterville. My eyes are playing a little fun with me. Also, Duquesne, Sarcoxy, Pierce City, Dunawig, Diamond, Fidelity, Stott City, Wentworth, Avila, La Russell, Brooklyn Heights, and Reeds are the ones that are listed in it, and it's in effect now until this is a new severe thunderstorm warning. It's in effect until 12 midnight.
Now, the areas, you mentioned a lot of areas there. The main areas I'm concerned with the latest radar scan, again, northeast of Diamonds, Highway J that goes to Wentworth, that area, I-44 just west of Sarcoxy, Reeds, those areas, Highway 37, that's getting the big time hail right now, and a little bit of rotation there near Highway J between Wentworth and Diamond. So if I'm in Sarcoxy, I'm still taking shelter. And did they allow this warning? The warning just disappeared. It looks like they are, but they've expired the tornado warning, but still highlighting the potential for renewed tightening rotation.
Yeah, with the tornado tag, it's listed on the severe thunderstorm warning.
Yeah.
You can also text us if you've got some information on storm damage. Text us at 417-782-1310. Our text line is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And again, we've got a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 12 midnight tonight that does include most of the Jasper County area, includes most of Newton County, northern half of Newton County, and also it includes all of the western part of Lawrence County and a little sliver in the northeast or northwest corner of Berry County as well.
A lot of lightning still being reported with the storm between Diamond and Sarcoxy. So it's quite the light show we're getting here in the area. Flash flooding is a threat. Again, I'm watching the storm chaser sprint down I-44 near the Sarcoxy area. He's headed east. He is in this severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag on it. And I know we had this discussion every time, but that tornado possible tag on a severe thunderstorm warning means there's not enough confidence for rotation, but it still could drop something. So you still need to take that rather seriously. at this time, because that's what Joplin was under the other nights when you had the EF1 tornado touchdown in the northwestern half of town at near First and Second and Schifferdecker in that area. It was a severe thunderstorm with a tornado possible tag on it when there was some damage on that northwestern side of town. So still take this warning seriously if you are in it, east of Joplin, west of Mount Vernon, that I-44 corridor.
Yeah, we're also now getting reports of approximately 4,200 customers out of power at the time, most of which are in the Joplin metro area, specifically the Joplin area, I should say. There's also reports of damaged and broken poles in the Columbus, Kansas area as well, with outages there, and a handful of outages in the Webb City area as well.
Ty, we've got some more rain beginning to develop again just to the southwest of Baxter Springs, down around Pitcher and Therese, Kansas, and it's beginning to just develop. Nothing severe at this point, but it's more rain. It's on the way.
I want you to look at the. I'm not going to start saying it could be a supercell, but if you look at the rotation on that storm, if you look at the velocity scan from the Tulsa radar, right near Commerce in Miami, you can see it could be a cell that's trying to form. Obviously, it's very, very early stages of it, but something we want to watch. Going to get a new radar scan here, but every storm has to start as a little tiny cell and, a little shower and get going. But this could be something near the Quapaw, Commerce, Miami areas and Peoria area there of extreme northeastern Ottawa County, that parts of southwest Missouri that haven't seen storms tonight, we need to keep an eye on at this time, because we're still in an environment, especially the areas that didn't see a storm, still in an environment conducive for rotating storms. So we're going to keep an eye out on that. I'm not sure if you're seeing that little bit of rotation maybe near Commerce, but again, that's just a brand new storm that's popped up, as you mentioned.
Yeah, that's the one I was just talking about, just beginning to pop up. And yes, I am seeing the beginning signs of rotation there around Commerce. It's headed towards the northeast. Probably will be just to the west or just to the northwest of Quapaw within about the next 10 or 15 minutes.
And again, we're not trying to scare anybody, just kind of keep you ahead of the storm, just to make sure that you are aware there could be more severe weather tonight as we progress into the closer to the witching hour, the midnight hour, for you guys, especially you morning show boys. You've been putting in a long, hard day of work here, and I know that you guys have got a morning show to get ready for as well. So severe weather coverage, though, is very important to us here at News Talk KZRG and Zimmer Marketing. So we make sure that we are fully staffed and well aware of storms hours, days, even sometimes weeks before they could possibly impact the area. And I remember mentioning this on last Monday, that Sunday could be a day that we need to watch for, and it's coming to fruition here in the four-state area. So we appreciate you tuning into the stations of Zimmer Marketing for your severe weather coverage as we watch this severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag impacts areas around Sarcoxie at this time. And there's a lot of little broad areas of rotation, so there's nothing really definitive right now, but still a lot of lightning and hail with the storm between Diamond and Sarcoxie. So just still take it seriously.
One thing we do have now, the National Weather Service in Springfield has issued a flash flood warning for Jasper County in southwestern Missouri and northern part of Newton County in southwest Missouri. It's in effect until 5:30 this morning, it's coming up morning. Doppler radar indicated that thunderstorms producing very heavy rainfall were over the warned area. Up to 3 inches of rain have fallen so far during the storms. Additional rainfall could cause additional flooding, and additional up to 2 inches more of rain are possible in the overnight hours.
And we do mention, turn around, don't drown gets used a lot. So a lot of people just, take it for granted, but we're serious because just a few inches of moving water can sweep your vehicle off of the road. And of course, it's nighttime. If the power is out, especially, you may not see these big puddles or streams of water going over the roadway. So just take it slow. Please don't get out if you don't have to. I know it's a Sunday night and early Monday morning, so traffic should be light anyway, but we've fortunately, from the MoDOT cameras we've seen and our tower cam, traffic has been very, very sparse in Joplin. So we appreciate everybody taking those heat warnings for heat and, respecting the National Weather Service and their call for how serious these storms have been and may continue to be into the early morning hours.
Now, Ty, this severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect right now until 12:15 in the morning. What is the reason for the tornado tag that you are seeing, if you're seeing it at all?
So it was that tornado warning, right? So that storm, they kind of downgraded it. They may be softening that, go from a tornado warning to a severe thunderstorm warnings, um, kind of a big jump. So they put that tornado possible tag on it because they're not confident enough in rotation or that there were a tornado on the ground, but there could be possibly some little spin up get going, and especially when sometimes the radar doesn't scan for 2, 3, maybe even 4 minutes at times. There could be something that rotates or touches on the ground and comes back up in between there. So they just want to kind of play it extra safe when they issue those severe thunderstorm warnings with tornado possible tags. But as I mentioned, not really seeing any sort of impressive rotation in the latest radar scans. Still a lot of lightning, though, right over the Diamond and Fidelity areas. So kind of that backside of this storm. It's just continuing to try to cycle once again. And I'm just impressed with how long the supercell has been going and how many times it's essentially refreshed its battery, recharged its battery, and tried it once again. We do have a storm chaser getting out ahead of it. He is east of Sarcoxie, and he is driving east towards the Stott City area on I-44. But really nothing too concerning in the way of rotation right now. Just a lot of hail headed for Sarcoxie at the moment.
Yeah, a lot of hail. And again, we do have some confirmed power outages, 13 in effect in the Joplin metro area, affecting more than 4,200 customers. On the Kansas side, there's some outages in Columbus and Scammon, Kansas. And on the Missouri side of the state line, most of those outages are in the city of Joplin. There's a handful in Airport Drive near the Joplin Regional Airport and a handful in Webb City as well. We still are getting reports of flooding on Range Line in Joplin, and along with that, reports of power outages along Range Line as well.
And Ben, I'm kind of watching. If you look at the storm, it looks like it's pushing kind of this outflow boundary, this gust of winds that's ahead of it, about to impact Pierce City, and then kind of goes towards Highway 60, Highway 86. So that may be a good sign. Usually when storms push out an outflow boundary, that means they're outflow dominant. I kind of want to watch it, though, because it may mean the rotation's not as impressive or may not be able to recover.
We don't want to have happen tonight what happened the other night where we just gotten the all clear and then all of a sudden, like within 2 minutes or less, we had another warning.
Yeah, that also is, we don't want to jinx ourselves as well. We want to take this storm seriously because it could
Please
try to
don't
recycle.
Jinx us.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of lightning still with it, which means it's still very intense and could try to recycle and, like I said, plug in, recharge its batteries based off what the atmosphere ahead of it has. But we'll see what the National Weather Service wants to do with this warning as it pushes east ever so slowly. But right now, if you're in Joplin, obviously, I hope everybody's out of their shelters. I understand everybody's got storm anxiety and may stay in their shelter a little bit longer, even though the sirens have been off for a while. But you are good to go in Joplin for right now. You're good in southeast Kansas, northeast Oklahoma. If you again, happen to have still been in your shelters, you can exit those. Right now, the main concern is areas in Fidelity, Diamond, and the Sarcoxie, Wentworth, Ritchie, and Granby areas, and headed for kind of Pierce City and Monette as well. I think it's going to go southwest of Mount Vernon. So, this cell is at least, but we'll keep an eye on it and see where it tracks.
Well, Ty, I'm looking at the developing storm there in northeast Oklahoma, just north of Commerce, around, just to the north and west of Quapaw. Looks like we're beginning to get a little rotation on that as well.
Yeah, again, it's hard to tell when it's such a storm that's in such an early stage of its life cycle, but it is one of those little showers. Every storm again starts as a little shower, so we just want to watch that. More rain headed for Baxter Springs and parts of southeast Kansas that definitely don't need it tonight. Again, flash flooding is a big concern, and as Ted mentioned, we've had reports of several water rescues in the city of Joplin, so please, you don't need to be out and about tonight. Please don't be.
You're listening to continuous storm coverage on the stations of Zimmer Marketing, including News Talk KZRG on FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, and on your smart speaker, News Talk KZRG.
And of course, as well, Kicks 102.5, Classic Hits 93.9, Big Dog 97.9, AM 1230 The Talker, and Kissin 92.5. Don't forget, you can also get severe weather or regular weather updates with the Zimmer Storm Center app. Totally free to download in the App Store and or in the Google Play Store as well.
I'm getting some reports sent to me, just some of the storms earlier when we were talking about that possible funnel cloud and or tornado. It looks like when it was in southeast Kansas, they're between, I would say near the crest line, north of Galena areas. I've had several people send me videos that they had, and it looks pretty definitive, like a possible tornado that this storm did produce. Of course, we saw the KDOT camera. We saw like a grainy image of something that looked like a funnel on the ground, but also seeing some other reports from viewers that have sent me things that also look like there definitely was something on the ground at some time earlier tonight. So again, there's going to be damage reports. If you've got those, of course, do that when it's safe to take a look, take a gander, but let the National Weather Service know what you've seen in your area. That greatly helps with them, greatly helps getting help to those that need it tonight that may have seen damage to their houses, or maybe even no reports of injuries, at least that we've seen, but just in case there was somebody maybe hurt by flying debris or something like that. So just let us know, let the National Weather Service know. It'll greatly increase the speed of getting response needed to those that are in need.
Ty, I'm not for sure if there's anything that this means, but it appears like in the area that's got the severe thunderstorm warning, it appears like the storm is beginning to shrink a little bit in size. And then also...
It is a little bit.
Also, there is a storm that's beginning to get some heavier rain. Now it's beginning to move into the Baxter Springs area. That storm is also moving to the northeast.
Yeah, and I want to see where that one tracks. Again, it's still just a little baby storm, essentially.
We're also, by the way, really quick, we just got another call in at 417-782-1310. Reports of flooding on 7th and Schifferdecker in Joplin, along with flooding on Maiden Lane and 7th in Joplin. So just keep in mind that this flooding concern is going to be a continuing theme in and around the Joplin metro area tonight.
Yeah, the 7th and Schifferdecker, it's really bad on the western side of the intersection as you're headed to go from Galena to turn south on Schifferdecker. That floods all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Again, like a lot of people overlook that flooding threat, the flash flooding threat. Turn around, don't drown. It's really simple. You hear it a lot, but it really, truly can save your life, especially in the dark when you can't see a flooded roadway. You do not want to get swept off of it in your vehicle. So stay home if you can. Or again, we've had reports of water rescues in Joplin, like you guys mentioned. So please stay home and let the drainage system do its job. I know obviously we're getting rain in areas that have been saturated a lot over the last few days. So it's going to take a while for that water to go down. So please just stay at home, stay safe tonight.
You're listening now live to the stations of Zimmer Marketing, News Talk KZRG on FM 102.9, 105.9 AM 1310, Kicks 102.5, Classic Hits 93.9, Big Dog 97.9, AM 1230 The Talker, and Kissin 92.5. When severe weather breaks out, we at the Zimmer Marketing Studios break in.
What time is it? Almost 11:40.
11:40.
KZRG 24-hour storm center. That's the thing. KZRG 24-hour storm center. We're watching it for you. I've been watching it all day. I've been watching it for several days. Of course, we had storm coverage yesterday. Storm coverage on
Saturday. Oh, yesterday was Saturday, and then
was that
also
Thursday as well? The night of the EF1. Yeah, I mean the days we're peak severe weather season here. I know we think about May often, but obviously we're in late April. We're right in this peak severe weather season where the environment and the ingredients for rotating storms comes together. So we hope you've been weather aware. We've tried to keep you weather aware as best as we can, and we are just hoping that there have been no injuries and minimal damage tonight with these storms. Of course, we've had some reported, but just hoping for the best for everybody in the four-state area that it may have been impacted by these damaging winds, hail, and even reported tornadic storms.
Yeah, and one of the best ways to stay weather aware is by downloading the Zimmer Storm Center app. It's free to download in the App Store or Google Play Store. Get you access to a live radar system and custom weather alerts. The second best way to stay weather away, actually, honestly, they're tied for first, and that is just being tuned to News Talk KZRG on FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310.
Ty, it's looking like the hail is now redeveloping to the south and west of Sarcoxy, right along the Berry and Lawrence County line, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing here. A lot of hail there. Sarcoxy, between Sarcoxy and Wentworth, headed for that area. You don't want to be standing outside, that's for sure. A lot of lightning as well, moving kind of east-southeasterly. Again, the storm's not really rotating, kind of pushing that outflow boundary ahead of it. Neosho, you're about to get a downpour, at least. Not really any lightning with the little cell over Neosho. It's just kind of the tail end of that bigger cell, but still hail core just southwest of Sarcoxy, moving it towards Wentworth at this time, and Pierce City kind of down the line, just so you're weather aware. But looking back earlier, it looks like I've seen several more videos of that reported tornado near Columbus, east of Columbus, and that Highway 69 Crestline corridor. It looks like for sure to me there was a tornado. Pretty ominous storm that we had earlier. So again, damage reports going to be coming out of Cherokee County, reporting to the National Weather Service. Let them know so they can make an accurate assessment of exactly what happens tonight. Good news here. National Weather Service says Jasper, Newton, Lawrence County storm has become well outflow dominant, kind of like I was mentioning. The core is coming down, so it's still severe, but it should be on a weakening trend soon. So good news in eastern Jasper, eastern Newton, and western Lawrence counties tonight. We'll continue to follow it for you as it pushes east, but right now the storm is outflow dominant, which means it's pretty much not rotating any longer, just dropping some big time hail as it essentially dies off. But that storm survived quite a ways. Again, it started way out there in Neodesha, maybe even farther west than that, Fredonia, Independence area, and then moved through Cherryvale, Highway 400, south of Parsons, Altamont, Oswego, into Cherokee County, Columbus, Crestline, and then, of course, is maybe finally dying off as it gets closer to Pierce City, Monette, and Mount Vernon.
Now we're beginning to get some heavier rain again in the Baxter Springs area. That's moving. It's a small area, but it's moving to the northeast. It's probably approaching Galena about now.
Yeah, we also have a number of more power outages to report. We're up now to 14 individual power outages impacting now more than 4,000 customers, mostly in the Joplin area, with a handful of them still in Columbus, along with the Airport Drive, Carl Junction area, and Webb City as well. But the bulk of that is being impacted upon the Joplin city limits.
And that little storm you're talking about there, Steve, over Baxter, it looks like some lightning in it now, right over Baxter Springs in southeast Kansas. Heavy amounts of rain to a place, again, that does not need it. South of Riverton, south of Galena. I can't tell you what this storm's going to be, but it's just a little cell that we're kind of watching. But the main cell that we've been watching is outflow dominant, which essentially it's pushed a little gust front out in front of it and is no longer rotating like it was. So that's good news there in eastern Jasper, eastern Newton, and western Lawrence counties, but still some heavy amounts of hail and rain coming down in and around the Sarcoxy, Wentworth areas there. Highway 37 between Wentworth and Sarcoxy getting pounded as we speak.
Ty, to the west of us, I'm not seeing very many storms that are headed in our direction. There's some that's just northwest of Oklahoma City, but they're moving more towards the Wichita area. And with the exception of that one storm developing there around Baxter Springs, I'm not seeing anything in the radar at this time.
I'm not as well. I kind of want to take a look at this, the latest HRRR future track model. And I think, fortunately for us, it's not going to be exactly accurate, but all these storms will be tracking more towards Kansas City as we get closer to sunset. It's not really showing anything track here. And again, this is a computer model. We use it as a guide. It holds our hand a little bit, but we've got to really do like surface observations and look at how the boundaries are setting up at this time. And we're still under this tornado watch for at least few more hours in certain places of the KZRG listening area. So we just want to be vigilant. Make sure you do have multiple ways to receive watches and warnings. A lot of us really, can go to sleep as we speak, but you got to have your phone on loud. You got to have the Zimmer Storm Center app downloaded and make sure that you've put your location in and got alerts turned on, notifications turned on to places that you want to be notified, get a watch or a warning so that you can wake up in case you do obviously want to go to sleep as we approach the midnight hour.
Hopefully, if I get to go to sleep, my cat will not wake me up and is saying that it's hungry and wants me to feed it.
I got a feeling that's going to be the first thing that happens. I'll be honest
Knowing
with
my
you.
luck, I'll probably get there and she'll want a snack, or as we call it with her, a snacky snack.
You're listening to the stations of Zimmer Marketing for severe weather and cat commentary. It's KZRG on FM 102.9, 105.9 AM 1310, Kicks 102.5, Classic Hits 93.9, Big Dog 97.9, AM 1230 The Talker, and Kissin' 92.5. And as Ty Albright had pointed out not too long ago, having multiple ways of getting severe weather alerts, the Zimmer Storm Center app is the best one to have. It's free to download in the App Store, Google Play Store, gets you live custom alerts along with a live radar as well.
Now, again, the tornado watch for southwest Missouri is in effect until 2 o'clock this morning. The one in northeast Oklahoma set to expire at midnight, and then one that's a couple of counties to the west of us in southeast Kansas, that is in effect until 4 in the morning. Then to the north of us, up around the Kansas City area, starting around Butler, Missouri, if you're on the Missouri side, that is a severe thunderstorm watch that's in effect until 4 in the morning.
Just lovely times to be awake, am I right? Just the best, everything's quiet, except obviously the storms tonight, but I know those are just great times to have your eyes open and your brain functioning. Am I right?
Is my brain functioning at the moment?
I don't know if mine is
I'm
either.
beginning to wonder.
We'll continue, of course, to follow these severe thunderstorms for you and hope that nothing else dangerous or life-threatening pops up. But again, the good thing about this cell moving through eastern Jasper County, northeastern Newton County, it's outflow dominant, which means that the chances for rotation is essentially next to nothing. Now, there could be some downbursts, downdrafts as the cell dies off. It could produce heavy amounts of rain and wind gusts in that Sarcoxy area as it approaches the Wentworth area too, because when the cell dies off, it just kind of collapses on itself. So still threats for hail and damaging winds in that general vicinity, northeastern Newton County, western, southwestern Lawrence County, and then that extreme southeastern part of Jasper County as that storm again is trying to die off, but it's still very, very strong at this time.
And by the way, keep this in mind. If you're driving along and the power is out and you come upon a stoplight that's not working, it's a 4-way stop. So make sure you stop and make sure that nobody else is coming.
That's exactly right.
And still, people won't listen to that.
That is also true. Speaking of power outages, we have a growing list of power outages. We are now up to 15 individual power outages in the 4 states area, impacting more than 4,300 customers. The bulk of that in the Joplin area, with a few northernly in the Carl Junction, Webb City, Airport Drive region, right near the Joplin Regional Airport. And in addition, we now have confirmed power outages south of the Joplin metro area, sort of near Tipton Ford, sort of near Spurgeon as well. So as Ty had pointed out earlier, crews, they are going to be cruising and bruising around trying to get power up and going again. But with this extremely slow storm, it might take them a little while.
Yeah, and you got to give them patience. I mean, of course, they're humans too. A lot of people just expect their power to be turned back on. I need to get my tablet charged, things like that. Well, before the storms, that's one of the things. Charge all your devices, your power banks, whatnot, just in case the power were to go out. I understand a lot of people may lose Wi-Fi or whatever also, but you got to be prepared, especially next time. You'll know for next time, be weather aware. Make sure you do have every device of yours charged up just in case it were a low battery and now you plug it in and you obviously can't charge it. But lessons for next storm season, because again, we still got May to go. You can't predict anything too far out, but we are still in the peak of severe weather season. So we just got to be vigilant this next month or so as we enter the prime time for our area to see storms like this that we're seeing tonight.
And we've had a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings throughout the night, but at least we're down to just one severe thunderstorm warning at the moment, which includes parts of the southeast part of Jasper County, northeast part of Newton County, and also the Lawrence County area. But again, the storm, it looks like it's beginning to get some more hail down around Sarcoxy at this point.
Yeah, and like I said, it's kind of a very meteorological term, the outflow boundary, the storm. Essentially, what it does is it's usually a sign that it's weakening, right? So it's essentially collapsing in itself, falling apart. But this storm is just still bustling through, dropping heavy amounts of winds, hail, and rain as it went through and is going through Sarcoxy, Wentworth, and slowly, merrily going about its way towards Pierce City and Monette. The outflow boundary went through Pierce City, is about to go through Monette. So you will be feeling that gusty amount of winds in that area, but a lot of lightning with the storm, especially along and south of I-44 in the Sarcoxy and Wentworth areas, again, as it's pushing east. So Joplin, more rains moving through. That little cell we were talking about just really hasn't materialized all that much. So that's some good news, but it still could bring some more rain to areas already within that flash flood warning. So please, again, remember, turn around, don't drown, because we've had reports of water rescues. We've had reports of flooded roadways in and around the Joplin metro.
I hate to ask you this question because I don't want to jinx it. But after we get through this round of severe weather tonight and early this morning, does it look like we're going to have at least a little bit of a breather for the immediate four-state area? Is it moving to the east, or are we in for some more rounds?
So it will move to the east, areas along and east of Springfield tomorrow. There's a big severe weather threat, St. Louis, Boot Heel, Missouri tomorrow. I think the storms will start to pop up in and around Springfield, then move east. So you're in those general vicinities, need to keep an eye on it. We're going to be in like that marginal to slight risk tomorrow, or what is it? Yeah, almost today. But I think it'll be mostly to our east. And then kind of looking ahead, as we enter early May, I think we do get a break. There's going to be a threat in Arkansas, central Arkansas, southern Arkansas, as we get into Tuesday. And then I think may not have severe weather chances until Tuesday, May the 5th. But again, once you get past a week out, forecasting becomes just kind of like a guessing game. You have to watch the model trends and things like that. But I think we will have a break after tomorrow, especially along and west of the Springfield metro.
We have another report that's been called in on some weather information. What do we have?
Yeah, you can always call in reports at 417-782-1310. We just got a report. Murphy between 4th and Ozark in Joplin totally underwater at this time, along with power outages continuing to go straight through the center of town in Joplin. We're talking street lights. We're talking roadway lights, all of the above. So as Steve and Ty had mentioned earlier, if there is a traffic light that is not working, treat it as a four-way stop. If you have to be out, ideally, of course, you wouldn't be out at this time. But if that is the case, please keep that in mind. We also have, power outages across 7th and St. Louis, 7th and Murphy, totally dark all the way across the board. So definitely dangerous driving conditions, what with the lack of sight, with all the darkness going around, and of course, that portion, Murphy, but between 4th and Ozark, totally underwater, which it just goes in a growing list of roadways in the Joplin metro area that are currently underwater.
Well, we have, I guess I jinked ourselves because we have another severe thunderstorm warning that's been issued by the National Weather Service in Springfield. A severe thunderstorm warning for northeastern Newton County, northern Berry County, southwestern Lawrence County, and southeastern Jasper County. It's a severe thunderstorm warning that's now in effect until 12:45 in the morning.
The same areas we've been talking about, that storm that's supposed to be dying off, just,
Next time I make the comment about I don't want to spoil it for us, tell me to just shut up.
Yeah, no, I'll throw something at you to stop you.
Okay, sounds good.
Well, here's the deal. The atmosphere is going to do what the atmosphere is going to do, no matter what we say. So if I'm in Pierce City, if I'm in Monette, we're still talking about you, Highway 97 between Stott City and Pierce City. Going to be getting the brunt of the storm that Wentworth is currently seeing. Areas around Clarkson, I-44, near Sarcoxy still getting pounded with rain. But again, this storm is just producing quarter-size hail, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. There's not a tornado possible tag on it, so that's good. Again, it's an outflow dominant storm, which generally means it's weakening, especially from what it was earlier. Earlier, it was a beast of a storm, and now it's finally reaching those like end cycles of its life. So, still, Wentworth getting pounded with hail. Areas just north of Pierce City getting pounded with hail, headed for Freistadt, and maybe the northern edge of Monette and Mount Vernon, Aurora. You could be in line for this storm as well.
And according to the KZRG Storm Tracker radar, that storm that developed in northeast Oklahoma, it's not getting severe or anything, but we're getting more rain out of it, just what we needed. It's including up to around the Fidelity area, back to around Joplin along I-44 down to Loma Linda, and back over to around Galena, just probably to the north and a little bit to the northeast of Baxter Springs at this time. Nothing severe, but it is more rain that's coming down.
Yeah, and a lot of lightning still with that storm right over Wentworth, north of Pierce City, kind of in the areas where I was talking about the hail. But this is moving away from Joplin, so good news for the KZRG, good chunk of the KZRG listening folk as it moves towards the Springfield metro. But if I'm in Mount Vernon, I'm keeping an eye on it. We will, of course, continue to update you on Facebook as well. But again, as these storms move to the east, southeast, we want you to be aware in Pierce City, Monette, Aurora, places in northern Berry County, the southern half of Lawrence County. But again, severe thunderstorm warning, run-of-the-mill, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, quarter-size hail. And again, flash flood warnings in effect for a lot of the area. Please turn around, don't drown. Tornado watch is still going to be in effect for at least a few more hours. We want to keep an eye on anything that might back build in parts of south central Kansas. We've got a lot of storms towards north central Kansas, north of Wichita, headed for Kansas City, but we need to keep an eye on anything between Oklahoma City and Wichita. But right now, there's just nothing that's all that impressive at this time, but we'll keep an eye on it for you. But we want you to know in Joplin, the severe weather threat is waning, at least for now, but make sure you do have multiple ways to receive watches and warnings. Download that Zimmer Storm Sensor app, because you are going to want it to wake you up if we do get some more warnings as we head closer to the early morning hours here on the stations of Zimmer Marketing. But of course, we will keep you up to date with the very latest right here.
Ty, I'm going to ask you an update on. I'm going to ask you for an update on models. The models were earlier showing a possibility of more severe weather in the 4 to 5 o'clock hour in the mornings. Is it still showing that, or has this kind of been scuttlebutted because of the storms that we've had tonight that lasted forever and ever? Amen.
It's still showing these little pop-up showers try to get going, but they don't look all that impressive. I don't want to jinx it again because the models are never accurate. They'll give you a general idea of a general area, but there could still be some more rain and some more loud thunder, lightning, and maybe some small hail overnight. But right now, the tornadic threat, I think we saw the greatest potential for that already move through the area. And I know we're for sure going to have some damage reports to go through tomorrow as the sun comes up, but hopefully no injuries reported. The National Weather Service, I do believe, is going to have to do some surveys in southeastern Kansas. It looks like they're issuing severe thunderstorm warnings still low for that storm as it pushes east. So Mount Vernon, Monette, Pierce City, places in northern Berry, northeastern Newton, extreme southwestern Lawrence, and extreme southeastern Jasper still under that severe thunderstorm warning, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and a quarter-size hail.
Yeah, and as Ty said, that we are going to have to be doing a post-mortem damage-wise in the Joplin metro area, and the best place to be getting you those updates, of course, the KZRG Morning News Watch, coming to you live in about 6 hours here.
That's soon?
That's that soon on FM 102.9, 105.9 AM 1310. You've been listening to live severe weather coverage on the stations of Zimmer Marketing, which of course include News Talk KZRG, Kicks 102.5, Classic Hits 93.9, Big Dog 97.9, AM 1230 The Talker, and Kissin' 92.5. Don't forget to download the Zimmer Storm Center app. It's free to download and will give you access to a live radar and potentially life-saving weather alerts. When severe weather breaks out, News Talk KZRG and Zimmer Marketing breaks in. We'll be back live with you if anything more develops further.
This severe weather update from studios of News Talk KZRG and Zimmer Marketing is sponsored by New Mac Electric, proudly serving Southwest Missouri for over 80 years. New Mac Electric, your touch-tone energy partner. Zimmer Marketing and News Talk KZRG. Depend on it.
U.S. Attorney General Todd Blanche said on NBC's Meet the Press the suspect, Cole Allen, was likely targeting administration officials, including the president.
We know that there were some writings, and we've already spoken with several witnesses who knew him.
Blanche adds he hopes the jobs Secret Service did to help protect people Saturday night will also give a political push to fund the Department of Homeland Security.
What we saw those men and women doing last night should be a wake-up call to Congress, and I hope that it is.
DHS, which oversees Secret Service, has not been funded since mid-February. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Well, after what appears to be an assassination attempt, the Justice Department saying a lawsuit over a proposed White House ballroom putting President Trump at risk. Officials arguing large off-site venues like the Washington Hilton, where